Hey, what's going on? What are you mumbling about?
Trying to maybe get that fan turned on right there.
He's like, should I turn the fan on?
Hold on, let me see.
Turn the fan on.
Okay.
I mean, hey, wait a minute. The lights in the back are blue. Why are they blue?
I don't know. That's some weird shit. Here, I'll change it.
Well, that one's pink over there.
Yeah, just
or
this
magenta,
one.
rather.
It's just some kind of weird.
The fuck are you doing with your weird paranormal powers?
I don't know.
Turning fucking lights different colors. There you go.
Yeah, they
well,
were
see,
all...
like, normally they all change color at the same time because they're all in the same circuit. But like, I only just noticed. I must have just done that.
Yeah.
So, oh man, you turn the fan on. Now I'm like, oh, now it's cold.
That's nice though.
It's
you don't think it's nice?
I mean, no, but that's okay.
Nice and cool, kind of trying to cool me off.
That's okay.
I'm too fucking hot, man.
He's too fucking hot. Although I will say, you guys, it's going down into the 40s tonight. That's Fahrenheit for everyone that's not in the United States. So don't get alarmed.
It goes from 100 degrees and 100% humidity down to 40.
Yeah.
In a matter of about a week.
And tomorrow, the high is only 65 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it's going back down to the 40s tomorrow night. Yeah. So, woohoo, I might get to I might get to wear long sleeves when we go out. That'd be nice.
Everybody's showing up. Looks like they're all piling in. Zach's here. What's up, Zach? Tammy's here. Phantom. Again, CB's here.
Everybody here.
Colin Higgins. Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, he's here all the time.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody's been here all the time.
Yeah.
You guys just like hang out all the time.
Yeah, we're not going out tonight. We're going to go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit here. We're going to invite you guys. We're going to drink with y'all on a Friday night, ushering you into the weekend. Because y'all have worked hard this week, I know. So just sit back. Sit back and relax. I didn't work. I didn't work hard at all. I fucking shammed all week.
Tom is retired.
I cooked, though.
Yeah, you did cook.
Yeah, I pressure cooked some carnitas.
It was delicious.
Big old fucking pork butt.
You said pork butt.
Pork butt. Yeah, that's what it is.
I know.
And it's not from the butt, though. I think it's like...
I know it is, and I don't know why they... I don't know why they...
I don't know. It's the butt end of another cut, I think, that they have. It's the butt
so
of something else.
It's not the actual...
It's not the ass, yeah.
That'd be funny if they called it pork ass.
Yeah, pork ass. I think it's just roast. I think they just call that roast.
I just think that's really
funny.
Yeah, like you said, it's like the butt end of...
The butt end of something else.
Of another piece,
I don't know what they're talking about.
Actually the butt. You know?
Here in the U.S.
I don't remember where I learned that, but I knew that information.
Here in the U.S., somewhere. 2 of the highest value cuts you could get are pork butt and pork shoulder. Now,
I know where you're going with this.
What's that?
Spam.
No, it's not talking about spam. Spam is pork shoulder.
I know, that's why I thought of that.
Yeah, but you want to take butt over pork shoulder. Pork shoulder can get kind of fat, but that's what you make carnitas out of, which is that's the pork meat used in Mexican cooking, and you have to pressure cook it. You know, there's no other way.
It's the law.
It just if not, it just or you can slow roast it.
If you don't, you'll get arrested.
They pressure cook the shit, and you pressure cook that shit for fucking 50 minutes, the whole thing, and then don't relieve the pressure. You let it sit in there until it releases its own, till the pressure subsides on its own, and that takes about another hour right there. And usually you can reach in there and it has one bone in it. If it's a pork butt, and you can fucking just pull that bone out with your hand, and it's just pure meat. You want to cut some fat off before you put it in there, and you want to fucking sear it on the outside on a fucking cast iron pan. That helps seal everything in when you're pressure cooking it. It's good though. What I pressure cooked it in was about 2 cups of apple juice, some lemon juice, a couple of tablespoons of that, cumin, garlic, salt, and chili pepper, and just pressure cook it in that. When it comes out, it fucking comes out good. Now,
man, I just ate it on pita bread plain. I didn't
just
even put nothing on it.
Didn't put anything on it,
and it was just good like that.
Pulled some of it out, and put it inside, toasted some pita bread, put it inside the pockets, and just ate it just like that. And I put a little bit of jalapeno hot sauce on mine.
I can't eat hot sauce.
Yeah, I put a little bit of jalapeno on it. It was good.
Anymore.
It's using that El Yucatano.
Yeah.
Good Mexican shit.
Was it the brown?
No, the green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get the brown.
El Yucateco.
I think that's the hottest.
I think it's called Yucateco.
Yucateco.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the brown one was the high. That's like the Mayan.
That's the hottest one.
Super
That's
hot, super hot sauce.
Ichibiluti or something like that. It's got a Mayan words. It's fucking like. And the thing is, they made it milder. I remember when I first found it.
Maybe you're just getting.
It was insanely hot, and it tasted like earth, a real earthy flavor.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like dirt, but in a good way. Tasted like some kind of root, which it probably is. Slightly bitter, but real fucking hot. And beautiful, man. 1 tablespoon in a big old thing of chili would make it hotter than the average person could eat.
Yeah, see, I can't eat that. I can't eat.
It was so hot I couldn't eat it, and I could fucking eat all kinds of hot
He
shit.
eats hot stuff all the time.
I went back for it like 6 months later, and it was only half as hot as it used to be. So they changed that fucking.
I'm sure that maybe they make it milder for like American palates.
Yeah, or maybe they just couldn't sell it. It was so hot they couldn't sell it.
People are like, yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah. Because El Yucateco.
I want to eat, not suffer.
They sell a lot in Mexico, but they have a huge contracts with contracts with fucking Walmart. They carry it.
Yeah, you can get it at Walmart most of the
You
time.
can get it at Dollar General store.
Yeah.
And if you go to any like little taco places that Mexicans run, taqueros, I think it was called taqueria. Yeah, taquero, I think it was called. They have that on the table. El Yucateco and some other stuff too.
I can eat like some hot stuff. I can eat hot stuff like up to, like I like pizza with like jalapenos on it and stuff like that. But anything like hotter, much hotter than that, I'm gonna have a bad time.
The basic one they sell is just red. That's the standard one. It's fairly hot. That's their basic. There's a green one that's jalapeno. That's mild, but it's spicy.
Yeah.
You could use a lot of that.
I can eat jalapenos.
Yeah. And then there's the brown one that'll fuck you up. And then there's an orange one that I like that is a Caribbean version. They call it the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's really good. It has a slight mustard flavor to it.
Yeah, I rember liking that one.
Yeah, real good. Yeah.
I like that one actually.
And they got a bunch of other ones. Like they have this website you can order it off of. They got a bunch of other ones, but I haven't tried them all. And some of them are kind of rare flavors. They want a lot for them. So, but if you go you can go to the Dollar General store and you can just get it for like $2 bottle. Yeah. Much cheaper than Tabasco. And Tabasco sucks for the price. It doesn't. I'd rather have Crystals.
Yeah.
Crystal's the same thing. It's a lot cheaper. Or Red Hot. Red Hot's what you fucking make chicken wings out of. You can get it by the gallon.
Yeah. Yeah, what's it called? Isn't it Somebody's Red Hot?
Yeah, something.
What's the fucking
I don't know.
name?
I just know it's Red Hot. I had some of that shit.
Somebody's Red Hot.
Yeah.
Somebody's Red Hot.
Yeah, you toss chicken wings in it. 50% Red Hot, 50% melted butter.
Yep, that's
Put it in a pan, then you cook the chicken.
That's your classic buffalo wings.
And you fucking just toss it in a...
Hot wings.
Toss it in a damn metal pan. Like a salad bowl. Metal salad... Or mixing bowl. Metal mixing bowl. You pour it all in there and then put the chicken in there and fucking toss it with a spatula. Plate it up. Side of fucking blue cheese dressing.
And some celery.
I make my own blue cheese dressing sometimes. When I have blue cheese, you can get blue cheese out of the deli. And it's 50-50 mixture of sour cream and mayo, a little bit of vinegar, salt, pepper, and then throw that jam cheese in there. I think there was something else. I think there might have been celery. I think it might have been like celery.
Celery salt?
Celery salt, I think is what it was. Celery salt. I gotta look at it again.
Do we have any celery salt? Because I kind of feel like you need that. We had some for a while because we used to make Bloody Marys, but we haven't made Bloody Marys in a long time. Because you kind of need celery salt in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll drink them without that, but you kind of need celery salt. CB said, Jenny, I'll give you 3 guesses as to who's looking gorgeous tonight. Tom,
and Tom.
BTK.
Now we got BTK, yeah.
And Pookie.
No, Jen's looking great.
Pookie and Bambi.
Cut Jen's hair today.
I cut it. Well, you cut it.
I came in and trimmed up some of the back.
Because I couldn't really see it in the back all that good. I finally dyed it again, too, because my roots were all getting gray.
Yeah, she's growing her hair out again.
Yeah, I'm growing like the underside, like the shaved bit. I'm growing
that's all coming back out black again.
I'm growing all that out.
and she's gonna grow the bangs out so it's all about the same
Yeah,
length.
I want it all the same length.
Yeah, parted in the middle.
Like I'm going for like Morticia action.
Yeah,
but that's going to be a while though because it's going to take a long time for this to grow.
It'll take a couple years.
I mean, maybe not like as long as I think. My hair grows
6-7 months, it'll be halfway probably.
Yeah, my hair grows pretty fast. It's just for a while. It's funny. Like last time we went to Barbarella, I guess it was last week at Memento, and I wore a wig, and I was talking to Shauna in the bathroom, and we were talking about her hair because she had the cool shit going on with her hair or whatever. And I was just kind of like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to grow my hair out, and it looks like ass right now. So it's like I'm going to be wearing a lot of wigs going forward. And the wig that I wore last time, which I guess was on the last Sidetracks show, because I it was one that I had never worn out before. And for some reason, most of the wigs I have are just like normal person head size. This one was like big. I was like, this one is for like a Frankenstein monster head for some reason. Like, I don't really know. And I didn't realize, and like I put it on, I'm like, why is this so big? I don't get it. Like, this is for like a big giant person. And it was a girl's wig. It wasn't a man's wig because it was originally braids, like a at Wednesday Addams type situation. And the braids started coming out, so I just pulled them out and like combed it all out. And so I just wore it like that. Like, it looked good, but all night I kept going to Tom. I was like, is it slipping off my head? Is it slipping? Because I had it pinned and stuff, but I was like paranoid. So it's like I go out and dance, and I'm just like, so Shauna laughed at me because I was in the bathroom, and I said, so I keep going like this and like pulling the wig forward, and she laughed her ass off. And I was just like, yeah, I've been doing that all night.
Put some more ice in it for you.
Okay, yeah. Well, my eyes melted.
Yeah.
Tammy said we got 3 inches of snow last night, and Zach said it snowed there too, but it all melted. Yeah, I mean, I'm super jacked. It doesn't usually get this cool this early in the year. Like, sometimes it does. I mean, it'll be hot again by Monday, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice that it's only going up into the 60s tomorrow, and it's going into the 40s tonight and tomorrow night too. I checked the weather because everybody was making jokes on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, like all the Floridians. It's like, you guys, like, don't panic, but it's getting cold tonight. It's like Florida cold, you know what I mean? It's not even freezing. But it's hilarious because in Florida, like, native Floridians, I don't do this because I love cold weather, but native Floridians, it goes down under 70 degrees and they're wearing parkas and shit. It's like so fucking funny. Old Wrestler said, does Tom ever wear sleeves?
Yeah.
With those guns, why hide them, I guess?
Yeah.
He does wear sleeves sometimes.
I just kind of wear this around the house. Although I do go to the club like this.
Sometimes. Sometimes that, or sometimes just like a...
Yeah, motorcycle. Like I wear this underneath my motorcycle armor. I got a lot of these shirts, and I made this one.
Yeah.
I do a lot of screen printing on them.
Yeah, that's Obscura Undead is that radio show.
I got 2 of them that are I got 20 of them that have never been worn, only washed, just totally black. That I was gonna do more screen printing on.
Yeah, we haven't done any screen printing.
We haven't done it in a while. I need some new shirts though.
Yeah.
But no, I got sleeves too. It's just mostly short sleeves. We're in Florida, man. It's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Higgins was asking me about
a recipe for Spanish rice.
Recipe for Spanish rice.
Oh, and I thought this was funny. Old Wrestler said pressure cookers scare me. They kind of scare me too. Although the new ones are not as scary as the old ones. I mean, old ones, you can legit like make a bomb out of the old ones.
Yeah.
But and they used to, because my grandmother used to cook stuff in them, and I used to be like, I'm gonna be in the back of the house in case that blows up. You know what I mean?
Well, they're computer controlled now, so it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, they're a lot safer now than they used to be.
I use what's it called, Instapot.
Yeah.
That's good. You can do all kinds of stuff in there. That's what I make yogurt in.
Yeah, we make yogurt in it.
I haven't made Indian paneer yet.
Yeah, we've been talking about making paneer in there. That would be good because I love paneer. Holy crap.
I'll get on it. I just haven't really had the energy, I guess.
So I mean, you do make good Spanish rice though.
Yeah. What was that fucking shit that I get this stuff in a jar? I think it's made by...
What's that fucking shit?
I know. It's from Goya. Comes in a glass jar. They have a green one and a red one. Sofrito, I think is what it's called. I don't know what it is. It's a blend of spices and tomato. And that's it has recipes on the back of it how to make Spanish rice. You can get it in any grocery store in the Goya section. Comes in but you just that's what I use. Now there was another easily made Spanish rice I was getting it at Sam's Club. It came in a half a gallon clear plastic jug looking thing. It was flat, and it was yellow rice, and it had dried tomatoes and stuff in there. You just boil it on low, bring it up to a boil.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, put it down to low. I think it's like 10-15 minutes covered. You go back, man, and it's fucking beautiful rice. But I was using that Goya fucking, what's that shit called, man? I think it's called sofrito. Man, we got Spaniards in here, Mexicans in here. What's that shit called? It's a cooking base. You can use it for a lot of stuff, but one of the things they do use it for is rice. They got a red one and a green one. And I've used both. Mostly the red one. And you could use that, if you're American, you could use it in parboiled rice. I think that's what I used it in mostly. Although I did use it in fucking Indian basmati.
Because that's usually what we had.
That's real good too.
We used to buy that in 10-pound bags because we used them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, 10-pound bags or 20-pound bags? What's that big fabric bag?
It might be 20 pounds.
I think it's 20-pound bag.
Yeah, 20 pounds.
Lasts
a long time.
Get that at the Indian store. Sometimes you can get them at Sam's too.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't have it.
We got to go to the Indian store when we're in that area.
I know we haven't been in a while. We don't live close to it anymore.
Yeah, got to go down there and get butter chicken mix, and there are some other spices I'm looking for that they have down there. Called House of Spices.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's a couple of them. House of Spices. What's the other one?
I don't remember.
I got a card for House of Spices.
The other one I think is just called Spice Land. Isn't it called Spice Land?
Spice Land, yeah.
The one that's by that Starbucks?
Yeah, Spice Land.
I think that one's called Spice Land. That's
Over
kind
there
of
near Home Depot.
kind of by Home Depot or Target or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one over there. That's I'm pretty sure it's called Spice Land. That's a good one too. It's almost kind of like a little bitty grocery store because they have refrigerated stuff and fresh produce and everything too.
What's everybody talking about?
American Military 100 said, I recommended the Delphi case. Yeah, I put it in the poll. So if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter, then you can go over there and vote. I didn't realize how many tendrils it has. The cult of Odinism, biased judge, potentially wrong suspect, etc. Yeah, it's a big... I'm actually surprised we've never done it before because I'm pretty sure I wrote about it at some point because I was kind of familiar with some of the details. But that would make a good show, so, you know.
Zach's asked me about the drink I used to have on the show. That was fucking Kukulkan.
The Kukulkan, yeah.
Yeah, I was drinking that shit. And it was...
I even made a glass for the store that had the logo on it. Made a Kukulkan logo.
It's like a 50-50 mix of pineapple and orange juice, wasn't it?
No, it was pineapple. It was mango nectar.
Mango nectar and pineapple, I think.
And tequila.
And tequila. And
it was
ice.
like a third of
Yeah,
each
one
thing.
third and one third and one third.
Yeah.
And then ice. That's right. I haven't made that in a long time. It's good. You get really fucked up on it.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that you can also get a very acid stomach with it.
Well, yeah, that's a lot.
Because all that damn pineapple
that's a lot
juice.
of acidity.
It's the pineapple juice.
I mean, pineapple juice, they use that to, like, tenderize meat. You know that, right?
Yeah, it tenderized the inside of my fucking
Although
stomach.
I love pineapple. That's probably my favorite fruit.
Yeah.
I used to buy those big cans of Dole pineapple juice, and I drank all that shit.
Yeah.
I love pineapple juice. Maybe that's why my stomach's so fucked up now. It ate away my stomach line.
One time I was in the Army. One time when I was in the Army, we were at fucking Sinai Desert. I was at this place called OP311. And you can see it on YouTube. People took videos of it. It's like a desert island overwatching the Gulf of Aqaba. And we were enforcing the damn embargo against Iraq at that time. This is like 1993. So we had to pull guard shifts, in this fucking little tower that we had, and sandbags and trailers, and fucking we're running. It's like something out of that. It's like the desert version of what you saw out of The Thing, the fucking, like the Antarctic expedition. It's like that. We had our own generators and shit. Dudes had to run a generator. I was the cook. They loved that because I could fucking cook. The people that were supplying us the food, when I put in the requisition for the shit, was Israel. And I'd request all the shit that they'd have on the thing, and they would just send me. And every time the shit showed up, they sent me just random shit, had nothing to do with what I asked for.
They're like, whatever, close
So
enough.
I'm just like, like, what the fuck is this shit? Why are they even asking me what I want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, why don't they just
sent
send
you
stuff,
random fucking shit?
Random.
All right, it wasn't bad. It was just shit that didn't work together.
Right.
You couldn't make anything out of it because you didn't have anything.
You're like, what is this?
anything.
An episode of Chopped? Like,
Yeah.
where they give you all these random ingredients and
Just
you have to
random
make
shit.
something good out of it.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of frozen turkeys. But then there was no way to really cook the turkey. So I had to come up with all these fucking ingenious ways to fucking cook that turkey. We were cooking it in the ground
Yeah.
over coals.
Okay.
We had charcoals. But we didn't have a charcoal grill, so I just dug a hole and fucking had the coals burning in a charcoal hole, put the turkey in there, fucking wrapped it up and fucking...
Hey, that's
And
how
what do you
they
call
do
it?
Tinfoil?
Tinfoil. And then threw more coals on top of it.
Yeah.
And fucking... But I didn't know the cooking time or the temperature. We're just like, well, it'll be done eventually. It was kind of dry. It's kind of dry.
Well, yeah, you can't, like, eat
Couldn't
it.
tell what I was cooking. Anyway,
Yeah.
one day they sent me... I was asking, there's a thing on there for beverages. And I was like, yeah, give me some of the grape juice. I'm fucking filling it out. Let me give me 15 grape juice. Let me get fucking 20 apple juice. And I'm doing all this shit. When the shit showed up, it was like 5 half-gallons of apple juice and like fucking 20 gallons of grapefruit juice. 20 gallons of grapefruit juice.
I like grapefruit.
And on the island, nobody drank it except me.
I like grapefruit.
So I'd sit up the front and I was like, I will drink all this fucking... all this
I
grapefruit-
resolve
I will drink all this
to
grapefruit
drink all
juice.
of this grapefruit juice.
I drank grapefruit juice, man, straight for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh my god.
And all of a sudden, man, eventually my stomach just fucking...
Like I said.
I started fucking throwing up fucking like fire.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
It'll do that.
And I was going, man, I'm fucking... It's all that damn apple juice, all that fucking grapefruit juice. Israeli grapefruit juice.
I mean,
It was good, but it was just...
it's good for you.
drinking too much
in
of it.
moderation.
Yeah.
You can't drink a lot of stuff that's like acidic like that.
Yeah. And we have fucked up ideas, you know what I mean? Snedeker was up there and he's like, yeah, man, that should help you lose weight, man. That grapefruit juice diet. I said, yeah, I'm going to lose all kinds of weight, man. I got fat off that shit. It's all fucking sugar,
There's
man.
a lot of sugar.
I was in hyperglycemic shock probably the whole time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Holy crap. It's weird. I never really used to like grapefruit juice, but I kind of developed a taste for it, like in my 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
And I kind of got real into it for a while. I haven't had any in a long time. I thought we had some. We got some not too long ago. Like
It'll
to
burn you up
mix with.
about as bad as fucking as fucking pineapple will.
Yeah. Which, like I said, I love pineapple juice too. But like I said, yeah, you have to kind of drink it in moderation.
Yeah.
Because it'll mess your stomach up.
They would give us in these little fucking half gallons, like 2-quart boxes. They came in like a box, like a wax paper fucking metallic foil box. That's what they came in. Juice box. I guess they have it here. It's the same shit that you see like, the Goya and fruit juice, from Central America, South America, it's like that. And I was drinking like 2 or 3 of those a day.
Okay, yeah, it's probably not good.
Yeah, and then like on day 3, I fucking my stomach broke down. Just couldn't handle all that.
It was like, stop it.
There was no warning either. Just happened all of a sudden. It just I can't take it.
Your stomach's like, what the fuck are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
We're just down here
Trying to
getting
cook on that island was a fucking hassle, man. We didn't have an oven. I only had burners, electric burners. That's it. No oven. So you couldn't really cook anything. They had an oven, but the oven didn't work. We requested another oven.
So
We never
it's
got
like
one.
having no oven.
They said, well, you got burners. So that works. They didn't give a shit. Isn't that something?
They're like, yeah, that's kind of the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Not really.
It was an old fucking oven from a long time ago. But then they had all these hot plates and shit. So I'm trying to cook on all these hot plates. We get sick of that shit. I was like, man, I'm going to have to make some kind of pizza. You know what I mean? Well, they gave us a whole bunch of this Jewish bread. It's fucking Israeli bread. It's kind of like flatbread, kind of like pita bread.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out. I basically made pizza on it. It worked, but there was no way to bake it. Okay. So I had the fucking coals going, and I had fucking aluminum foil over the coals, and I'm lowering the pizzas down, laying them on top of the fucking coals and shit. Fucking talking, says, yeah, that'd be good in a while. And I said, I needed something to cover this up so the shit melts on the top of it. somebody comes help me. We're trying to put something over the top of it, and the dirt falls in and gets on the pizza and shit. The fucking man, fucking pizza all had dirt on it.
Dirt pizza.
We ate it anyway.
I was
though.
gonna say,
we ate it anyway. We didn't give a shit. Yeah.
Like whatever, dirt.
Dirt on the pizza don't matter. Yeah, it's kind of gritty, but it's good, you know.
Kind of gritty.
Yeah.
It's extra minerals. That's all that is. I was just thinking when you were talking about that. I was thinking about the Chinese buffet we go to, Ichiban, which has pizza.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's like steamed.
Huh?
The pizza there. Isn't it like steamed? It seems like it's steamed.
Yeah. At Ichiban, yeah. Steamed. I think
it's still good, but it's not.
It just doesn't like pizza.
No. I always laugh because every now and then Tom will bring a plate back and there's a little piece of it over.
Yeah, it's like
they
garlic.
just brought it out.
It's like cheese garlic bread.
It's kind of more like garlic bread or like what do you call it?
Focaccia.
Focaccia, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's
kind of like focaccia. It's not really like pizza.
Yeah, but they're making it for the little kids.
Yeah, because they have like a little thing with like chicken nuggets and French fries and shit like that. Like for little kids that are like, I don't want this weird food.
I'll go over there and get some of that fucking pizza if I see it's fresh. So I'm gonna get some of that. Shit's good.
I'm eating your pizza.
It's all kind of light and doughy and a little crisp on the bottom.
It is pretty good, but like I said, it's not really like pizza.
No, it's not pizza.
But it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good.
They got pasta up and every spaghetti sauce and shit.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about about Ichiban. You can make any kind of food you want. They have all the ingredients to assemble something.
Yeah. Yeah, you can assemble all kind of crap.
Yeah.
I make real elaborate salads in there and stuff like that. They got the only thing they don't have. Ooh, you know what? I was gonna say they don't have any nuts, but they do because they have like crunched up peanuts and stuff like over on the ice cream bar. And I was like, oh shit, why didn't I ever think of that? Like, because I love nuts on salad. I make all kind of like I make these big elaborate salads with like hard-boiled eggs and like crab on them and stuff like that.
They got a bunch of ice cream sitting over there. I put some of that in a damn drink glass and fucking asked her to put some fucking root beer in there. And that Chinese waitress was like, "What?" And I said, "You never seen it? Put some root beer in there. You know, no ice." She brought it back and remember that?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, well, if that's what you want."
This
is an American classic. She's like, "Ugh."
It's a root beer float.
Root beer float. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have that in China.
She was like, "What the fuck are you?
Fuck you doing?" Yeah.
He comes back with this big thing full of vanilla ice cream and like bring me some root beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's big, so you can like make pretty much anything.
Yeah.
You can make pretty much anything.
Yeah, and they'll have ham. Remember?
Yeah.
They have ham there.
Depends on what time of day you go, because like if you go at dinner time, they have different shit than if you go like lunchtime.
They have fried shrimp. Normally, like you go get a fried shrimp dinner, you get like 6 of them. You know. They have them all you can eat there. You'll get sick of eating them.
I'll eat them all.
And they're fresh. You know what I mean? They're still hot, sizzling when they put them in there. You get like fucking 20 of them sitting there with cocktail sauce eating that shit.
I could just eat that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yep. We focus on protein. Meat.
I mean, I usually get boiled shrimp, scallops.
Yeah.
I focus a lot on seafood.
Yeah.
Seafood and vegetables.
Yeah, like salad stuff.
Is what I mostly get.
Yeah.
But they do have a really good peanut chicken. But they don't have that on the dinner menu or on Sundays.
Yeah.
But the lunch menu they have.
I'll eat egg rolls and I'll eat a couple of fucking crab ragoons. But I'll stay away from the pasta and the rice.
We don't get like I love noodles and I love like lo mein and everything like that, but I try
they got it sitting right there.
I try not to.
So fucking heavy.
Because it'll fill you up, you know what I mean? And it's just like I kind of would rather just get.
Yeah, there's not much nutrition there.
I would rather just get vegetables. Like I said, I usually start out. I make like a little salad with maybe eggs in it.
Yeah.
And cucumbers, tomatoes, stuff like that, and then I usually have cold shrimp. And then I'll have a little plate with like mostly meat stuff. Mostly fish, more shrimp, chicken, broccoli, that kind of stuff. Well, hello there says, do you like when the pepperoni turns into little cups when it cooks and traps that awesome grease?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what?
Pick up that little cup and drink it.
I know that that I might get called a communist. I do not really like pepperoni all that much. I like it okay, but I don't like it enough to eat it because it gives me really bad heartburn. So, like, inevitably. I mean, honestly, that's never really been my favorite pizza.
I like it.
I'll eat it. I'm not proud. But, honestly, my favorite pizza of all time, And I don't know, I mean, other than yours, which, because you make awesome pizza and all your pizza is good. But I kind of feel like when I was growing up, my favorite pizza was from this little mom and pop, shitty little pizza place that was like a couple miles from our house in Daytona. And what the fuck was the name of that place? Pantheon.
Yeah.
And they made a hamburger and onion pizza. And it wasn't sausage. It was just hamburger.
Sounds good, yeah.
Like crunched up and like onion, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah. If you did it right, it'd be good.
Yeah, it was really good. That was like, so that's like one of my favorite pizzas, like of all time.
My favorite one, just off the top of my head, if it's done right, is ham and pineapple. And some people are like, "Oh no, pineapple doesn't belong in pizza."
I do like ham and pineapple.
I like ham and pineapple.
It's not my favorite, but I think it's good.
Yeah. Another one that I liked was one that they used to have at Pizza Hut back when Pizza Hut was a sit-down restaurant, and it was better. And it was, I forgot, it was some kind of like a meat lovers kind of like barbecue fucking pizza. It had barbecue sauce on it, bacon.
I remember that one. I didn't
Sausage.
like it. I'm not a big barbecue sauce person.
And fucking hamburger, I think. It had all these different kind
like
of
I
meats
said, that's
on
just heartburn waiting to happen.
I loved it. And it was kind of sweet. But I like other just traditional type pizzas too. White pizza, you know. Just
I honestly like
other stuffs, you know.
Like whenever, because sometimes we'll go to Mellow Mushroom. I don't know how widespread is that chain.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's just because we have a couple of them in Florida, but I don't know if it's national or not. And they make really good pizza, but we inevitably get the Pacific Rim, which is ham, pineapple, and jalapeno.
Yeah,
right?
that's good, yeah.
And that's actually really good. But honestly, one of these days, I want to try, like a lot of their pizzas don't have meat. Like they have ones with like all the meat, because we had one of those before, and I was like, that's good, but it's like too much, you know what I mean? I can't eat all that. But they have like a lot of veggie ones, like a mushroom one, and I kind of want to try one of those. Because honestly, I don't have to have meat on a pizza. I'm fine with just mushrooms and peppers. And
we can get you like a personal or a small one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I gotta have.
I don't mind having meat on it.
Yeah.
But I'm just as happy not having meat on it.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered.
If I'm paying for a meal, it's gonna have fucking meat on it.
Yeah. Like I said, I can go either way. I like meat, but it doesn't have to have meat.
We haven't been to fucking Longhorn in a while either.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You're gonna spend over $100. You go there.
Well, yeah, and last time we went, we spent a lot more than that because we got booze too. Mm-hmm. But that was like that was like a special occasion, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that? Didn't we go for
anniversary
or something like that? So we got like cocktails and
yeah,
the whole rigmarole. Although that's the thing too, is that
part of it is that we get the most expensive shit pretty much. They have cheaper stuff on that menu.
They do. They have just like salads and sandwiches and stuff. But
I get that $50 steak.
Well, yeah, I'm like, if I'm going, I'm getting a fucking steak, baby. Because like the other stuff like sandwiches and stuff, I can get that anywhere.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And we don't make steaks that much at home.
Right.
So it's like, when I go out and get it, I'm gonna get the fucking filet mignon shit. You know what I mean? Although here's the thing, it's kind of sucks because I can't really eat that much in one sitting. I found out, we went one time. And they have like a filet mignon that's, I think their bigger one is like 9 ounces or something. And I also got like an appetite, like I got a soup. And then I got it with like a baked potato with cheddar cheese and shit on it. And I couldn't finish it. And I felt really, really sick afterward because I ate too much. So it's like, so now I can only get the 6 ounce filet, which is pretty small. And like a baked potato without all the shit on it. And then I'm usually okay. I can't get soup or anything like that. So I can't really eat that much. That's why, like, going to the all-you-can-eat buffet, it's like I almost kind of feel like... I'm not going to say it's not worth it, because I do get full, but I can't really eat that much in one sitting, or I'll throw up.
CB saying Chinese takeout's better in the UK than it is in the United States. I'm going to call bullshit on that because...
It might be. I
don't
honestly.
think so. I've heard a lot of people say it's about the same, but the thing is that here in the United States...
Depends where you go.
Here's the problem. The United States is a big fucking place. We got a shit ton of those things.
They're
all about this. They're all similar, but some of them are better than others. You can't really judge a Chinese restaurant in the United States until you've eaten out of there. Some of it sucks. Some of it's fucking really good. Yeah,
I've been to some sucky ones, and I've been to some really, really good ones.
There's a variation in them. In this area, we have these things that they're in these strip malls. China Walk, China 2,
China Star.
And you go in there and it's the same menu and it's all the same bullshit in there, and it's because they buy. It's kind of like a franchise in a way.
Yeah.
They buy all those supplies from a Chinese company, and it's owned by the Chinese Communist Party, from what I understand. And instead of taking over the United States with like a franchise at McDonald's or Burger King they tried to take over using mon pa power, where you have Chinese people.
It's just like a family.
Taiwan, like the family would go in there and make an agreement, and get credit from this company, and they could start a Chinese restaurant, but they had to order from them.
Yeah.
It all kind of tastes the same, but some people prepare it better than others.
Yeah, it depends on the cook.
Depends on the cooks back there. Yeah. Now, P.F. Chang, and what's the other one that they have here? P.F.
Panda
Chang.
Express.
What's that? Panda Express. We have Panda Express
chains,
here.
yeah.
Panda Express is pretty fucking good, and I thought that was some good bullshit. That's Chinese.
Well, it was originally owned by a Chinese family.
Yeah, Chinese
and
family
actually, I
owns
think
that.
it still might be.
Yeah. So that's...
I think P.F. Chang's was bought by like a bigger conglomerate, but I think that Panda Express is, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard on Company Man that Panda Express was still owned by the same family.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I could be remembering wrong.
I would say the number one corporate chain for Chinese food is Panda Express. And it's good.
I mean,
It's
I've
real
only
good.
eaten there a couple times, but it was good like when I ate there.
Yeah. When we go to the mall here, we'll eat at this one place, and it turns out that's part of P.F. Chang's, wasn't it?
That's owned by the same company.
Owned by
That's-
P.F.
Yeah,
Chang's.
that's an offshoot of P.F. Chang's.
Yeah, when we go to
It's called
at the near the theater.
um,
What's that shit called?
Pai Wai
What's
or
that?
Pei Wei.
Payway.
Yeah.
Yeah, P-Way or Payway.
I think it's
and it's
Payway.
got fucking real good bourbon chicken. All right. And
I'm partial to their Thai coconut
and they got
curry.
good Thai coconut
chicken.
Yeah.
That's what I usually get.
And it's
when I
always
go.
crowded, a whole line of people. So it's always
We usually
fresh.
eat there, like, because we'll go to the mall food court if we're going to the movies, because the movie theater is right across from the mall, and the food court is, like, right there. So we'll go to the food court before we go to the movie theater.
Funny thing about Payway is that you have Chinese people working there. It's all Central American girls
Yeah, well, that's kind
from
of...
Venezuela and shit.
That's
They're
who
good.
lives in the area.
But,
Honestly, like,
Good.
I usually... The food there is good, but there's, like, a Mediterranean place, like, right next, or a couple down, that's actually really, really good. I just usually... Sometimes I eat there, but I usually don't because they take too long. But they take too long because they're scraping the meat off the thing and putting it in the sandwich and everything like that. Whereas the Chinese food is all made already. So they just scoop it into a thing and you can go, so it's a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So sometimes if I don't want to wait, like, I'll just eat at the Chinese place. But
Another thing that we have here is we have really good Indian food. And I've heard that some of the British Indian food is not really kind of authentic. Here, you never can tell what you're going to get until you go to the restaurant, but it's Indian guys working in there.
it depends, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Here it depends on who owns it.
Who
like,
owns it, right? We go to Fifth Element. It's fucking great. It's really good. It's spicy, and you go in there, and it's nothing but Indians in there eating it. So
There's hardly any white people
Yeah.
getting in there.
Yeah, and they go, oh, hey, white people, come on in. And it's nice. It's nice. It's got a damn copper ceiling.
I love that ceiling.
Yeah, it's, and fucking they got Indian music going and Indian music videos and shit. It's nice. And you can either order something off a menu or they have a buffet. Their buffet is good. They're going to be goat curry, shrimp curry, naan, all the little, what do you call it, the sides.
Honestly, their
Desserts.
vegetarian shit is, like, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah, they
Like, their
got-
meat stuff is good, too. Like, all their curries. They usually have, like, biryani and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because the
Paneer.
buffet isn't huge,
Yeah.
and you never know, like, what's going to be on it, like, from day to day. There's usually some kind of curry. It's usually a goat curry. There's sometimes a chicken one or something
Yeah.
like that.
Or
they
shrimp.
They almost always have, what do you call it? Tandoori chicken. They
Yeah.
pretty much always have that. And then, like, on this one side, they have pretty much all vegetarian dishes. And in my experience, the vegetarian ones are, like,
Yeah.
way better
Yeah.
than the meat. Like, if they make a paneer dish in there, that's going to be... That shit's like crack.
Yeah.
I'll
This-
eat
That one's a
gallons
little
of
expensive. That one's about $30 a person.
It is a little
Yeah,
expensive.
but it's worth it though.
We went there
it's
last
healthy.
weekend.
Yeah. They recognize us. They got a special table for us and everything. As soon as they see us, they go, "Oh, we know where you guys like," because we don't like booths. I don't like that. I don't mind a booth,
I like booths,
but not the booth there.
But the booths in there are kind of weird.
Yeah, the fucking table's too high.
The table's too high, like compared to. So Tom's always like, we have to sit.
Yeah, I don't like sitting on this thing feeling like a child.
Yeah.
Fucking table up here like that.
Like I said, usually I like booths, but not in there. So we usually just sit in the middle.
And they got fucking that tea. Remember that chai?
Yeah, they always have chai.
With cream in it.
So I always get chai. They always like mango ice cream.
Mango ice cream comes out of a fucking soft serve machine.
At the end, they have a soft serve mango ice cream. It's not as good as the mango ice cream at Memories of India, which is just regular ice cream. It's not soft serve. And they make it there. Yeah. And I don't even like mangoes, but that shit is delicious.
They got those Rob Jamun. The little round balls. Look like a little fucking donut hole, really, in
Those are
syrup.
good,
really
they're
good.
So
they're hot.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They're so sweet.
And all you can eat. So you could tear it up. But the thing is, I'm usually so full after I'm done with eating fucking meats and curries and shit. Dessert time comes, I can barely eat anything.
Yeah, I can usually manage about a plate and a half.
Right.
And maybe an ice cream cone, and then I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble.
See, I won't eat rice at a Chinese buffet. I'll eat rice at an Indian buffet. There's just something, that food doesn't taste right without a little bit of rice on it.
I just get a little bit of rice, but usually I kind of like I like to dip it in naan more than I like naan more than the rice.
Yeah, they got the naan there. It's like butter naan.
Yeah, they usually have a big thing of that. But like I said, my favorite thing there always is whatever paneer dish they have.
Yeah.
And they usually have like some other... I can't remember what it was they had last time that was really good. It was cauliflower, peas. It was vegetarian.
Yeah.
And it wasn't super spicy. It was tiny, tiny bit spicy.
That area over there...
Oh, and they had an egg curry, too.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that. That was also really good.
That area was Sanford.
Yeah.
And when we lived in Sanford, in that complex we used to live with Buckingham Estates, it was a nice place. It was like 1/3 Indian people. And it's because this area has IT services. So these guys come here, whole families come here to do computer technology stuff. So they're real educated. And because they moved here, a whole bunch of Indian restaurants sprung up. And they go to them. And fucking food's good, man. Real good. But I think it's just that area, isn't it? That's where most of the Indians are, right?
Yeah.
There aren't any Indians in the Panhandle.
Oh, I don't know. I've never lived up there.
I don't think there's anything up there for them. But they come here under a special contract. They're only here for like a couple of years, and then they go back. And I heard that it's an Indian company that's bringing them in here, subcontracting them to work for another American company. And it's evidently kind of a little bit of a scam. My understanding of it is they want to get rid of them after a couple of years because they're afraid that they'll unionize. So it takes them a couple of years to realize what the hell's going on. And by year 2, you got to go. They rotate them out, but they pay them well. It's just that they don't keep them around long. Weird. But it's India that's doing it.
Yeah.
It's an Indian company that's bringing them in here.
Well, hello there said the honey walnut shrimp at Panda Express is pretty great. That sounds good. I don't think I've ever had that.
I haven't had that one.
I've only been there like 2 or 3 times in my whole entire life. And Ben says authentic Indian food is vegetarian. Yes, it is largely vegetarian. They do have like some stuff with meat, but particularly goat. I think that's like a big thing. But which is good, even though goats are cute. But honestly, and at Fifth Element, I kind of feel like their vegetarian shit is the best shit. Like the meat stuff's good too, but now Memories of India, that's a different issue because I will say that their lamb korma is one of the best things I've ever eaten.
It's not real authentic, that place, even though I've seen Indians eat it. Yeah. But I haven't seen any recipes like that. I don't think it's not Indian guys cooking it. But Indians seem to be accepting of Indian style food, even if it's not
Indian adjacent.
Indian
food.
Adjacent, yeah. It's good though. Now you said that Indian food is vegetarian. Now some of it is. It depends on what religion they are. They got Muslims there too. They're eating beef. Okay, So you never can really tell. They have everything. But they eat meat.
Well, yeah, nobody
eat-
said that, but
yeah.
I'm just saying that a lot of their dishes
You,
are vegetarian.
Most of the real famous dishes that you have, like shit like butter chicken, that came out of the Taj Mahal. The fucking real famous hotel. I love butter chicken. The thing is, though, is that you don't really know what the real butter chicken recipe is. Only the fucking cooks at the Taj know. They got a special blend of spices that they're using. And I've never really seen that recipe the same way twice.
Yeah, it's like everyone has their own variation.
Yeah.
Tom makes a mean butter chicken.
I got 3 or 4 different versions of it I make.
He just made some the other day, and like, holy crap, we
Yeah.
ate that like every meal for like
yeah.
2 or 3 days,
And you don't
I
get
didn't
sick of it. It's
I didn't even
addictive.
care.
It's addictive.
I'm like, yeah, give me some more of that.
And
Like
what
I said, shit, like it's like crack.
Yeah, and that particular one, I used a Pakistani spice blend by a company called Shan. And evidently Indians don't like that one. They're like, yeah, that's Pakistani, that's not Indian. But you can get it here, and I like that one.
I like that one too.
I like that one. It tastes good.
I've had lots of different like we went to, I think it was my birthday or something like that, and we
Yeah.
went to that Indian restaurant in Mount Dora, which is called it's called Shiba, right?
Yeah.
We were initially going to go to the Thai restaurant, but it was closed. So we went to the Indian place, and I got butter chicken there just out of curiosity. And it was really good, but it didn't taste like yours.
There's because
Kind of, it did, but not. You could tell it was the same dish, but it wasn't exactly
For some
the same.
reason we've gotten off onto food tonight,
Well, that's okay.
but
Food's a good topic.
okay, but butter chicken is in the same situation that General Tso's chicken is in. Nobody really knows the original recipe to General Tso's chicken. It came out of that recipe was done by a pretty famous chef in Taiwan. No, it wasn't in Taiwan. Where's the damn Singapore? Isn't that where all the casinos are?
I don't remember.
I think it's either Singapore or Taiwan. I think it was Singapore. And he was a Chinese chef, but he was working in a casino. And he invented that. This was like back in the late 60s, or I think it was late 60s, mid to late 60s, maybe early 70s.
Gordon Ramsay did a whole thing about it.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole fucking show on it.
Yeah.
There was only one dude that was still alive at the making of this fucking program this documentary I'd seen about it.
I gotta pee.
Only one dude that was still alive that knew what the original tasted like. And fucking they gave him a whole bunch of different ones. He knew what the recipe was and everything, wouldn't tell anybody. That's what an asshole they are about that shit. They gave him 4 or 5 different plates and he's like, no, that's not it. Because this was close. This is close, but nah. And he goes, no, this is all wrong. Because none of these are what it tasted like. And evidently, the dude that invented it, he's dead. And when he was working for that casino, he would not let anybody know what the recipe actually was. When he died, the recipe kind of died with him. The dude that is on the program remembers what it tasted like. He knew most of the ingredients that were in it. And there was one particular ingredient that you can taste, but I don't know what the ingredient is. There's one particular ingredient that he was looking for, so it had to have that one ingredient in it. And that was kind of gave most of its flavor. And he says he almost never sees that ingredient in a General Tso's chicken recipe. But I don't know what it is. He wouldn't say. But they gave him like 5 or 6 different versions of it, and he said this is the closest one, but it's missing something. It's missing that ingredient. So what I'm getting at is that General Tso's chicken, that recipe you're going to find in the West in general, like you go to fucking P.F. Chang's or fucking Panda Express or whatever, there's going to be some variations on it, but it's still not the real one. They don't know what the real one was. There's only a couple guys who are still alive that knew what it tasted like. So the new one that's popular has really become the official, because that's the flavor people expect. But according to the chef that worked with the living chef that worked with the chef that died, he says, nobody has the right recipe. That's not what it originally tasted like. Okay, here comes Jen. We'll go to the restaurant. Yeah. Oh, you got a new drink? Okay.
Yeah. I figured I'd make one while I was up.
Yeah.
You know, might as well kill two birds with one stone, All right, let me see what's going on. Gotta take my glasses off so I can walk around, because otherwise I can't see in the distance, you know what I mean? Yeah, everybody's talking about Indian food. It's like, Old Restless says Indian food rules. It does, I agree. Honestly, I want some fucking sag paneer. That's what I was gonna get, like, when we went to the Indian restaurant last time, but I decided to get butter chicken instead. I don't know if the restaurant's sag paneer is gonna be as good as Tom's sag paneer, but we haven't bought any paneer in a while. That's another reason we need to go to the Indian store. Get some shit. Oracle says, I have good news to share. Last week I was told I was getting a raise at work. That's fucking awesome. An extra $5.20 an hour. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Seriously, that's awesome. That's awesome. CB says, don't get between a Chinese takeaway and my girlfriend. That's a fight you ain't gonna win. I mean, I'm kind of the same. Don't fuck with a girl's food, okay? It's just kind of like, I will end you if you get between me and my food. You know what I mean? Well, hello there says egg flour, hot and sour soup. The correct answer is hot and sour. I'm more partial to wonton soup, honestly, but egg drop soup is good also. You know what I mean? Yeah, Oracle said lamb is also used in India. Yeah, I actually really like I said, Memories of India, which is, it's kind of far from us now, so we don't go there a lot, unfortunately. I would imagine, I haven't eaten at every Indian restaurant in this area, but I think it's the best Indian restaurant in the area, in Central Florida, of the ones I've eaten at. And it's in Lake Mary. There's two of them. There's actually one in Orlando, like on International Drive, which is where all the tourism shit is. I've never eaten at that one, so I can't speak to that. But the one in Lake Mary, like, the food there is really good. And we used to eat there all the time when we lived closer. And they have a lamb korma there that is one of the best things ever. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Murder Hearts and I love sushi. Yeah, it's like Tom really loves sushi too. I like sushi when I'm in the mood. Like, and they have sushi at the Chinese buffet. And like sometimes it's like I'll just be like, you know what? I'm kind of in a sushi kind of mood, so I'll get like some sushi to go with my salad or whatever, but yeah, Victor says, Google says Taiwan in the 1950s.
Taiwan? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 60s, but that could be.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. You were close.
Yeah.
You were close.
Was it Taiwan or Singapore? It was at a, the story as I remember it, it came from a casino restaurant. And it was like wildly popular. And as soon as it got popular, all the other casinos tried to copy it. And they had different versions of it, but it wasn't the original. Because they didn't know exactly what was in it. They were just trying to emulate it.
You talking about General Tso's chicken?
General Tso's chicken.
That's not really I like it, but it's not like my favorite thing.
It's got to be done right.
Yeah.
And
I like sesame chicken. I like orange chicken.
Best General Tso's chicken I had was in Boston. There was a Chinese restaurant there. They could do that shit. It was fucking awesome. I've never quite had it that good again. This chicken thigh, battered, fried in a wok, then it's tossed in a sauce and with red chilies in it, and I think sesame, and then it's poured over steamed broccoli, served with rice, and I think it had the sesame seeds on it. I don't remember. Maybe it didn't. I think there might have been a little bit of black mushroom in it. Been a long time since I had that version of it, but maybe not.
CB's asking you if you've ever tried black pudding.
Sounds like something British, made out of internal organs or something.
No, it's blood. It's blood.
I don't fuck with that.
Blood sausage is what it is.
I'm from the South, man. We have the concept of eating high and low on the hog. Okay? You're eating shit like trotters and shit. You're in fucking internal organs. It's called eating low on the hog. That means you're fucking poor. You eat high on the hog. You're eating fucking back. You're eating fucking
Americans
tenderloin and shit like. Americans don't eat internal organs. Just in general, they
Generally,
don't.
no.
No.
I don't mind like at Thanksgiving because you make a really good gravy with like the
gizzard,
and the liver and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the liver, yeah.
But and that's good. But I'm not gonna eat like my grandma used to love fucking liver. She made it all the time. I'm not eating that shit though. It's too much. It's just too.
Yeah.
I don't, and I'll eat most things. I was a picky eater when I was younger, but when I got older, and started like expanding my palate a lot, now I'll eat pretty much anything, but there's there's some places I'm not gonna go,
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff I don't like I'm not a big fan of sauerkraut. Like I'll eat it, but I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of kimchi. Again, I'll eat it, but I don't really like it all that much. So, and I kind of feel like the same thing with that. It's, you know what I mean?
Me and Jen are both Southerners. In the South's history, the old South was an agrarian society. Everything was based on agriculture and fishing and hunting. Most people here were some kind of farmer or some kind of town's tradesman. And kind of the societal organization kind of really favored medieval Japan. It's kind of what it looked like, Plantation owners would have been equivalent to like a daimyo, back in the old South. We even had certain like caste systems of fucking things like geisha, But it was just a different time. In general, it was, compared to the North, it was not very industrial. And in some ways, like you say, probably the median income was lower for the people. But the thing is that life satisfaction and quality of life was very high in the South because, food was plentiful. So they didn't have any starvation here. And, it was good, clean living, fresh air, fresh water, and a lot of fucking fresh food. And the American South food is like a religion. That's why so many of us are fat. And the shit that they would eat was fucking just off the fucking chain, man. Really high in sugar. And tastes delicious, Lots of bacon fat.
Well, yeah, I mean, fat and sugar is good. It makes you taste good, but it also will make you super fat if you eat too much of it, obviously.
Bacon fat killed my dad. That's what fucked his heart up and eventually killed him. And he cooked everything in bacon grease drippings.
I mean, I'm going to say there is really nothing better for breakfast than like fried eggs, like fried in bacon grease.
With a bunch of bacon grease. It's good, man, but
you can't, or even pancakes in bacon grease is really good too, but it's just kind of like, you can't eat like that all the time. You'll die.
Yeah.
It's so good though.
I remember my grandmother and my dad, right next to the oven was a big jar with a lid on it. When you opened that lid, it was just bacon grease. Every time they cooked bacon, it went in there. They'd stir it up. And then anytime you had to cook something, you cooked it in that bacon grease. And fucking, they knew it was bad, but it was just, they were addicted to it.
Whatever, it's good.
They were addicted to it.
It tastes good. Which it does, I agree. It tastes delicious.
And their arteries would clog up. My dad was born on it. They used to put it in baby bottles. Yeah. And my dad would be sitting there as a little baby drinking that milk with the fucking, make him healthy. Yeah. Put some weight on him. Yeah. There'd be bacon grease in it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because even though my grandmother, who was from Tennessee, was very, very thin her whole entire life, she had super fast metabolism. I wish I had inherited that. I did not.
Well, it's a gene that allows you to produce fucking insulin at a very high rate.
Yeah, I know. But so she did. So, I mean, they even tried when she was younger, she was underweight, and they tried to make her drink beer and milkshakes every day and stuff like that. It didn't work. Like, she was like 90 pounds, like pretty much her entire life. No matter what she ate. She ate Little Debbie's and drank Coke. And she drank Coke. That was the only liquid she drank. Coke and coffee. That was it for her whole life. And she smoked for a long time, too.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the thing, is she would always, like, if you weren't eating, there was clearly something the matter with you.
Yeah.
And, like, you'd be like, yeah, but I'm getting fat. Oh, you're not fat. Come on now. It's like, but, you know, you were fat. But she was just like, Southern people are just kind of like, you're not fat enough.
Yeah.
So they just keep trying to feed you. I think it's not like that as much anymore. Yeah. But when I was growing up and when he was growing up, they were like, what's the matter? No, you're not fat. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah.
You need fat. You need to be fat.
Yeah, but
I guess.
The food cultures between the North and the South are very different. It goes back hundreds of years. In the North, most people lived in the people that live in the cities. If you understand the way it was in the 1800s, even the early 1900s, you couldn't supply a city with fresh food. The food that they got was fucking rotten, terrible shit, and they would just eat anything because they had no choice. So even people who were poor in a city fucking lived fucking very short, fucking brutal lives. So they died a lot of fucking diseases, and a lot of those diseases just came from the water because the water was dangerous. You'd have water systems to supply the city with water in the 1800s, but that water wasn't safe to drink, and they were drinking it. That water was fucking filled with fucking dead eels and living eels. Whole pipes would get fucking flooded up with them. And waste disposal was terrible. They were pumping fucking septic waste right into the water table and drinking it. You know, basically there'd be piss water in your fresh water. You couldn't keep it separate back then. They didn't have very good planning. So, but the South wasn't like that. It didn't have the same population density. In the South, they were very sensitive about what you fed people, what you ate. They ate well. They always ate well. Even when they were fucking poor, everybody had a lot of food to eat. I would go there in the 70s as a little kid. My grandmother and all her friends would just be trading food that they were growing in their gardens just everywhere. Okra, corn, tomatoes. They were jarring some of it and turning it into tomato sauces and stuff. And it was just... And they had enough money to buy all that stuff, but it was just ingrained in them to grow food. They just did it automatically. They didn't feel safe, I think, because there were so many. The Great Depression had a lot to do with it. The only bad thing about one of the bad things about Southern food culture, though, was that they cooked fucking shit to death. They cooked vegetables to death. And I think it was because they traditionally were fertilizing it with the fucking shit that came out of the outhouse. I think that's where they were fertilizing it with. So it was too dangerous to eat something unless it was just cooked to death, you know? Like, they would take spinach and just cook it till it was just fucking green slime.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, that's not
like
spinach.
I said, when I was a kid, I thought I didn't like vegetables until I got older and they weren't all cooked to shit.
They would just cook it until it just falls apart. It's just some kind of green slime. But they weren't scared of tomatoes. They'd take tomatoes and they'd slice them real thin when they were green and batter them and roll them in cornmeal and deep fry them. Or deep fry them in a pan of bacon grease. Fried green tomatoes, really good. Dunk them in ketchup and shit.
Alright, so I got way behind on the comments. Okay, CB says, Jenny, is there any food you can't get in the US that you miss? Not really, because honestly, like, I like a lot of the British food, but you can get
it here.
Pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
There's a lot of British people live here. In the Central Florida area, and some of them own restaurants. There's actually one called the Magical Meat Boutique.
Yeah, we went there
in Mount Dora. That's run by British people, and they have all the shit. They have fish and chips. They have what do you call it? The pie thing.
Yeah, those.
What is that called? Shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
They have all that stuff.
They have pasties, I think, don't they?
I think they do. Yeah. So they have all that kind of stuff, and
beer.
And mostly.
Yeah.
In Publix, like the grocery store, they usually have a little section that has British groceries.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of Indian spice stores that also have like a big British section. So you can get British candy bars, you can get like you can get HP
British curry mixes.
Yeah, you can get all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty easy to get all of that stuff here. Because I think the only thing that I don't see that much is walnut whips, which are actually these kind of, they look like a little... They look kind of like the poop emoji, actually, now that I'm talking about it. But it's like a little whipped cream kind of thing, but it's chocolate. And then on the inside, it's like some kind of whipped... Is it marshmallow? I don't think it's marshmallow because I don't like marshmallows, but it might be. But it's some kind of whipped thing, and then there's like a big like nut, like a pecan or a walnut. It's a walnut, obviously, because it's a walnut whip. But yes, there's a walnut in the middle, and I like those, and I don't see those much in stores. But honestly, if I wanted some, I could just get them off Amazon. I'm not really that worried about it.
I would think that if a person came here from the UK, Jen's husband was from the UK, her ex-husband. He was from Wales.
Yeah, he's Welsh.
And I would think that if you had like a foodie from the UK or just a regular person from that they would probably, if they came into this area, they'd probably be pretty flabbergasted by the selection. I mean, you can go here.
You can get most things you can get over there.
Well, here we have a fucking store here that's like a supermarket. There's nothing but Central American stuff.
Yeah.
And you can find stuff in there that I've never seen before, and that shit's fucking good. Candy bars that you've never heard of. Drinks, juice drinks that you never heard of, soft drinks you never heard of, cuts of meat you never heard of.
And we live like in a pretty rural area, like a pretty kind of rednecky area.
But you see, we have a lot of Central Americans here.
Yeah.
And they want their shit, and fucking Central American companies will open up here to supply them.
Yeah.
What was the name of that market?
I can't remember.
The size of the size of a regular supermarket.
It's big, and it's a like a grocery store and a restaurant.
Yeah, and it's also got a.
It doesn't look like anything like from the road.
Yeah, you look up and see what's that.
It's looked like this tiny little dive.
You go in there and they're all speaking Spanish, and you're in Central America now.
It's massive.
And
they got everything.
Yeah, they got everything in there, and a lot of it shit's the duplicate. Like you have an American version of that. But this is the version that they grew up with, so this is what they're going to buy.
Yeah.
So it's just stuff like that. We shopped there several times, and everything we got out of there was great. They had one of the things that I noticed that they had was really good was they had these little round plastic jars that you could open up, and it was a drink mix, and they had fucking South American flavors that you'd never find here. Like fruto do conde, that's what you call it in Brazil. Here it would be called, what was that thing called?
I can't remember. We looked at it.
It's a green fruit, looks like a hand grenade. It's hard on the outside. It's plates, but if you press it, it's fucking soft. And you open it up, and it's white paste with black seeds in it, big black seeds. And that paste kind of tastes like you took a banana and an apple and blended it together. And honey. Yeah, no, they had like drink mixes of that flavor. Man, something sop, aesop, or the English word for it. I'd never heard the English word for it. In Portuguese, it's called the Count's fruit.
Yeah.
Then they'd have like regular shit like passion fruit and mango and coconut. Then they'd have all different kinds of rice, beans, red beans, pinto beans, big old fucking 25-pound bags, and the prices were reasonable.
I will say that if you want spices, go to the fucking Indian store or the Central American store, because they sell spices a lot cheaper
than
a regular grocery store. Because honestly, spices are kind of expensive. Like if you go to Publix or Winn-Dixie or wherever, like around here, like a little thing of spice, like depending on what it is, but a little thing of spice like that could be like $7 fucking, you know what I mean? Like, or maybe more, like depending on what it is, like for just a little bitty one. But like if you go to like an Indian store or something like that, $7, you can get a big fucking bag of the shit. Big bag of it. So it's like, it's much more, and it's better usually, because so like I said, I don't know if I necessarily miss anything, because if I'm ever just like, man, I really could use like a Cornish pasty right now, or I really could use like, I can just go 5 miles to Mount Dora and go to that restaurant that's owned by British people. And even when I grew up in Daytona, which is super rednecky, they had a place called, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like it was like a British tea house, and it was owned by a British couple, and they did high tea on Sundays and everything, and they even had like a back wall that had like British groceries. So, and that was in rednecky ass Daytona. So, like I said, like a lot of British people live in the Central Florida area because I guess they come here on vacation and they really like it, and they're just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna stay here, and a lot of them open up restaurants and stuff like that. So it's not really hard to find that stuff around here. Even Publix has a little section of British groceries, so it's really not hard to get. Yeah, like I said, I got way behind. Like, sorry. Tammy says, off topic, but my daughter is graduating nursing school next month, and we will be moving to Jacksonville, Oregon. Bruce Campbell lives there. She said he's very involved in the area. Ooh, if you, like, meet him, that's awesome. If you meet him, like, get pictures or something like that. Full Metal Nosferatu says, Jenny, I ordered 2 of your books for my girlfriend for Christmas. Ooh, that's awesome. Which ones? Just out of curiosity. I know you said that a long time ago, but I'm just asking. Somebody said... Okay, hold on. Oh, we gotta... Okay, shit. I got way behind. Somebody said back here that they never had Indian food.
Huh.
And they're old.
They're old? They never had Indian food?
Yeah, where is it? Okay.
I don't know where does that person live?
I just saw it. Oh, okay. Burley Sullivan. I've never had Indian food and I'm pretty old. Man, you're missing out. Indian food is so fucking good.
Yeah, what countries do you live in?
I don't know. But man, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a wide span, but it's like Indian food is... If you put a gun to my head and asked me what my favorite world cuisine was, it would probably be that.
Yeah.
It would probably be that.
Yeah. If you try to find like a local restaurant that runs a buffet. Go down there and go to the buffet and try some shit out. Because they have everything. They got all kinds of stuff there.
I love Indian food and I love Thai food.
And it's not anything strange, you know what I mean? It's not real weird. It's basically different variations of chili, really. Just the different, there's different ways of doing that. We would call it chili. If you look at a real chili recipe, that's real close to curry.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's just different ratios. And it's got beef in it. And, Indians don't eat beef.
Yeah.
Unless they're Muslim.
American Military 100 said, what the heck is kimchi? Oh,
Kimchi's pickled cabbage.
It's pickled cabbage.
Yeah.
It's big in Korean.
It's Korean, yeah.
It's Korean. They bury it underground
and
kind of let it fester?
They bury it and let it... They bury it in a metal container.
It's very strong. Like, the flavor is very strong. It's not bad. I'm not super into it.
I lived there for a year. And there was a certain time of year they dig that shit up and they fucking let it all air out. They open up those containers after they've been in there for a year, and you can smell that damn nitrogen gas blowing through there. It's that kimchi smell across the whole countryside. You're like, oh man, this shit's strong. But then it's gone after about a day or so.
It does have a very strong flavor.
It's an acquired taste.
It is, yeah.
And Americans in general don't like it. I acquired the taste.
I don't mind it.
But there's a bunch of different kinds of it. Some of it's got fish in it. I ain't gonna take that. I ain't gonna drink. No, little bitty fish and shit. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Some of it is like kimchi, but it's little cubes. It's not leaves. It's cubes.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I think it might be turnips.
Yeah, maybe.
It's pretty good. But if I'm gonna get kimchi, that shit, and it's served chilled, but it's fucking hot, man. It's got red chili in it. Mm-hmm. And you usually eat it on rice mixed with some kind of a meat like bulgogi, which is thinly shaved beef that's been cured a lot of times in Coca-Cola.
And because Tom makes it, and you usually serve it with onions and pears.
Yeah. Although
it's roasted pears.
Yeah. And it's good. In Korea, they don't quite use pears. They have a Korean version of a pear. It's kind of like that.
But it's similar. That's because we used to go. There was a restaurant that we used to go to, something called Korea House.
Yeah, Korea House. And Korea House was expensive.
It was very expensive. Yeah. It had good food though.
Yeah, barbecue. You can have barbecue there.
And
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, and their bulgogi was actually really good. But like I said, you made it several times.
I can make it out of pork too, which that's not bulgogi, but.
Close enough.
If you have a good enough cut of pork,
but you can make it the same.
You can kind of make that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I picked up all kinds of recipes from Koreans. And I got a recipe from one guy. He says, "Oh man, this is the recipe, my grandmother's recipe. Instead of using honey, and brown sugar to cure the meat in it, and sesame oil with sesame seeds. Instead of doing that, just put it in Coca-Cola with fucking sesame seeds and shit, and then the onions and everything, and let it sit in there for like 12 to 24 hours. And the carbonation, I guess, and the sugar and the acids and shit tenderize the meat. Mm-hmm. And it's real thinly sliced, just like out of cold cuts, like roast beef cold cuts, like that, but it's raw. You spread it all out on a sheet pan, and you fucking put it in a broiler with the pears in it and everything. Flip it over a couple times with tongs. Get it so it's nice and crispy on the edge. Fucking put it next to rice. Fucking sprinkle some sesame seeds on top of it. It's gonna have sesame seed oil in it. Also, that's what you're using as you're cooking it. It's good. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Each Korean family kind of has their own recipes. But the Coca-Cola recipe was good. And she was doing that going back to like the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people use Coca-Cola to like tenderize roasts and things like that. It's not that weird. Didn't some people like make... I kind of feel like in the 60s and 70s, wasn't there a thing? Because I remember my grandmother making a cake that had...
Coca-Cola in it, didn't it?
Coke in it, and she made one that had 7-Up in it. Too.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And maybe lime Giallo.
Yeah, I don't remember the lime Giallo, but I remember people making cake. I think my grandmother made like a lemon bunt cake one time by putting 7-Up in there instead of the sugar, and I think there were eggs in it. But you put that into the dry mix,
right? Yeah.
And that's what made the batter.
Yeah,
was that 7-Up?
Because it's mostly sugar. I mean,
yeah, sugar and liquids.
Sure.
Oh, there's a bunch of people sent us money.
Did they really? I got so behind.
Yeah, you're way behind.
I know. Yeah, okay. Look at oh my god. Oh my god, thank you very much. That's Gallows sent us a super chat. Y'all are awesome. Well, thank you very much.
I think there was another one.
Oh, thank you very much, Jeffy Art. Sorry, I got
Jeffy
way behind on the comments. Just purchased my dinner from a local Hispanic grocery store. The price and produce are amazing. $6 for 1 pound of fried pork belly.
Oh yeah.
And 5 empanadas for $3.
Yeah.
Can't fucking beat that, man.
Yeah.
Can't
see, the British would come down here and get an empanada, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's the Central American version of a pasty.
Good. I mean, like I said, it's even though where we live is kind of rural. Shit has been built up to such a like literally down the street. Like, is that even a mile? Probably not.
About a mile and a half.
Like, there's a very, very good Japanese restaurant, like a sushi restaurant
with Japanese people working in it. The cooks are back there,
and
they own it.
It's called Momiji, and and man, their food is really, really good.
And it ain't cheap.
Slightly expensive.
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
But honestly, like most of the food's worth it. Honestly, we've eaten there several times, and I've never had anything.
Those Japanese dudes hiring those waitresses got a booty fixation. Every fucking girl in there working in there's got a big old fucking country booty. I noticed it. I went in there and just bam, bam, bam. So who's doing the hiring around here?
You.
I wouldn't do that. I want to give the dude. I want to shake the dude's hand. You know, it's like, they're all a bunch of young country girls. You know, they're built down here.
They do a really nice, like for lunches, they do like a really nice bento box kind of situation. I usually like to get that. That's not like super, super expensive, but...
Yeah, bento box.
Yeah, that's about the amount of food that I can...
And they got all the sushi rolls, a shit ton of them, and there's always like a daily one. But you're going to spend probably $30 a person there for lunch. Isn't it about 30 a piece?
Once
it was all done.
It depends on what you get.
Yeah.
I think last time we went for lunchtime. We don't usually go for dinner because that's really expensive.
Yeah.
But I think last time we went, I think it was 20-ish, 23-ish.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah,
25-ish.
and really, prices are up right now. You go to the grocery stores, and all the meat is up. Fucking everything's up. The dairy's up a little bit. Eggs are up. And then there's inflation. It's probably inflation, I guess. But then it's passed on to the restaurants. So the restaurants are doing a really hard. They're having a really hard time keeping prices reasonable. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a worldwide problem.
It used to be, man, just only a couple years back, it seems, you could go into these fucking... You could go over to, like, a place like Dollar General store and for $50 come out of there with fucking more food than you could eat. Maybe not meat and stuff, but you were just, a lot of things were like $1.25, $1.50. Like that, for that? Okay, yeah. You get really good deals on food. Now, Americans are fat. In general, compared to the rest of the world.
Varies from state to state.
It's because the food is fucking great. And for a while there, it was really cheap. You could get a lot of...
Do you know that the thinnest state in the United States is, I believe, Colorado?
Yeah, probably.
I guess because they do a lot of hiking and outdoor
You see,
shit.
something that's very different than Europe or the UK. America, you get a much better deal if you buy a bigger container. All right,
and we're all about that.
Yeah.
More of it, thank you.
Yeah, because really, in those days, it's still not bad. But in the days when it was really rolling, the container was and the shipping was most of the cost of the food. The food inside of it really didn't cost anything. And what you ended up with is you'd have like a small jar of peanut butter for $1.25, and then a half a gallon of peanut butter for $2. So which would you rather have?
Yeah.
A gallon for $2 or a few cups for $1.25? Well, you went to that big fucking gallon, so you'd have that shit in your fucking pantry forever, trying to figure out what to do with that peanut butter.
Or if you're really into peanut butter, you would just go in there and just eat it right out the jar. Sitting in front of the TV.
Actually, it's good. Dipping sliced apples in it, celery.
You could melt it and put it over ice cream. It's really good.
Evidently, the new thing is to take celery and dip it, peanut butter through it, and then roll it in raisins and eat that.
Anything having to do with raisins, I don't want anything to do with that.
Cranberry.
Well, it was just kind of like, don't you remember when we were kids? My grandmother used to make ants on a log.
Yeah.
And you'd have a celery stick, and you put peanut butter on it, and put raisins on top.
Yeah.
Ants on a log.
Yeah.
So it's like that, but it's like the lazy version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. But like I said, raisins can go fuck themselves. I like
raisins.
I don't mind, I like dried cranberries. I like other dried fruit, but I don't hate raisins. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, Black, I'm not eating that. But I would just rather they not be there.
Yeah. They're
just an unwelcome presence.
There was a time you could get a box of fucking raisins that was that big by this big by that big, and just it's a big hunk of raisins in a red box for like $1.50.
Yeah, Sun-made.
Yeah, Sun-made for like $1.50.
I remember that.
And you look over and you see like the kiddie versions of it, where there's a pack of 6 of little ones with maybe just a little bit in each one. You see, that's like $3. What the fuck would you want for that shit for? Because it was pre-portioned and all that packaging.
Well, yeah, they put it in kids' lunches.
Little kids' lunch box. Yeah, so it's not the food, it's the packaging that you're buying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. Well, that's why Sam's and Costco and stuff like that, you can buy like a fucking metric shit ton of whatever it is. Yeah. And it's like a lot cheaper than if you bought it individually, because like I said, you're only paying for one package instead of several packages. That's what it is. But yeah, I mean.
But you see, this is what happened to the American food thing. We had this company called RJ Reynolds. They bought up all the tobacco industry. And they made cigarettes, Marlboro cigarettes, Winston's and shit. I used to smoke, man. I used to smoke my fucking ass off. Glad I got rid of that shit. RJ Reynolds started losing money because people stopped smoking slowly. So over time, they started buying food companies, and they were starting to take the same practices they learned in cigarettes, and they started to bring that into food. What they would do with cigarettes is they take all the tobacco, they put it in a big centrifuge and chop it up, put all kinds of solvents in there and shit, and extract all the nicotine from the tobacco. And then they would take the tobacco pulp and lay it out in a big sheet with a machine and fucking dry it and slice it. And now they got a fucking tobacco-like substance. It's totally artificial. It's not a leaf. It's just the remnants of a leaf pressed into something flat like a piece of paper. Now all that concentrated nicotine that they took out of all the other leaves, they spray that over the top of it. So an R.J. Reynolds cigarette was about 5 times as addictive as just a regular cigarette that you made, grew and dried it and cured it. It was made to be extremely addictive. And they evidently added some chemicals to accelerate the rate at which it would go into your bloodstream to give you a fucking really good hit. Mm-hmm. They realized they could do that with food. And that's why a lot of Americans are fat. There's all kinds of flavor enhancers and weird fucking chemicals in there to where you'll eat that and it tastes good and you want it again. You'll sit there and keep ordering that one over and over again. Every time you go to the store, I want some more of that. And I liked it. You don't know why you like it. Well, you like it because there's all kinds of shit in there to fucking taste, to manipulate you and to get you to buy that again. Really bright colors.
Well, yeah, they spend millions of dollars on research.
On researching that shit, yeah.
Of like what people.
So they're selling you food that's kind of unhealthy and it's very addictive. And I mean unhealthy in terms of there's not a lot of food or nutrition value in it. It's just kind of empty calories, a lot of carbs. If you go walk down an American grocery store, you'll see it's carbs, 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 because it's all wheat. It's all shit that came out of wheat. Bread, pasta, fucking cereal, wheat and corn. All right, so wheat, corn, and fucking, what's that down? Corn syrup.
Yeah.
That's another one that'll fuck you up.
Well,
sugar cane is expensive versus corn syrup. So all our soft drinks are corn syrup. And corn syrup is fattening as fuck versus...
It's in everything.
Yeah, and it's in everything. They use it as a flavor enhancer in ketchup even.
Yeah, it's in everything.
Okay, no sugar.
It's in bread even.
Corn, yeah, and America's a fucking huge producer of corn. Corn and that damn fucking corn sugar. You can I can go to the Mexican store over here. They got the Mexican market and a little restaurant right there and go in there and buy a Mexican Coca-Cola in a glass bottle and you can take a big old drink of it and it tastes totally different than an American one. It's smoother, more refreshing because it's sugar cane.
Yeah.
It's sugar cane. It's fucking good.
Well, because corn syrup is not usually allowed in other countries.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see
they still make stuff with actual.
You can see a shot of fucking Americans walking around in any old area. You see these fat fuckers just keep going, fat fuckers. You can go to an equivalent place in another country, like say in Asia, and it's just skinny people.
Yeah.
Because they're not eating the same thing, man. They are feeding us things that are addictive and fucking fattening.
Well, I told you the weird thing was that when I moved to the UK in the 90s, I wasn't super overweight. I was a little bit overweight. But I went over there, and honestly, I didn't try to lose weight. I was eating fish and chips, Cornish pasties, all that kind of stuff. But I lost like 30 pounds without trying. I think, one, because nothing had corn syrup in it, and two, because I was walking everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, maybe that's what it was.
You can't really walk in most of America.
That's kind of the shitty thing, because I like walking.
There isn't even any sidewalks, and everything's so far apart, you'll never get there.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need a car, especially. I mean, not so much in like the Northeast and stuff, but like down here, you definitely do because everything is super far apart, and like they don't really have anywhere for people to walk. Honestly, where we used to live, they had like a fitness trail. I can't remember the name of it, but it's pretty long. It was like a 18 or 19 mile thing, like all around Seminole County where we used to live. So they do have stuff like that, but you can't. A lot of it's just kind of like highways and roads and stuff, and a lot of people just don't walk. I mean, they just drive everywhere because everything's kind of far apart. Everything's kind of hard to walk to. Like where we live now, the only thing we could walk to Dollar General because it's right there. Like it's right at right by the entrance of our neighborhood. So you could walk to Dollar General. If I had to, I could walk to Circle K and Publix. It's not that far. It's only, it's less than 2 miles, and I've walked way farther than that in my life. So it's like I could walk there if I had to, but like other than that, beyond that, like down at the intersection, which is like a mile and a half away, there's really nothing. It would be like a really long walk, like to get somewhere else. And like really all that's close down there's a grocery store, there's the Japanese restaurant, there's a Chinese takeout, there's a Domino's, there's a Dunkin' Donuts, there's a liquor store. Is that the only food options?
What's that?
Down there by Publix.
There used to be
there used to be like a breakfast and brunch place, but I don't know if that's still there or not. Like Sunrise Grill or whatever it was called, but I don't think. But the Domino's is still there.
Yeah, there's a Domino's. There's a Chinese restaurant, and then there's Publix, and
there's a CVS.
Yeah, CVS. The thing is about Publix is that Publix is a restaurant unto itself. You can go in there and get a whole meal, a bunch of chicken wings, sides. Fucking whole roast chicken. You can get a whole roast chicken and 2 sides. It'll feed 3 people for under 20.
Yeah, I think it's like 15 or 16 bucks.
15, 16 bucks, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, rolls, sides.
Yep.
You get rolls and everything.
Yep.
And it's good.
Yeah, 4 rolls.
We do that a lot of times. Like if Tom's like, man, I don't feel like cooking today. We just run down there and 15, 16 bucks. We can eat off that for a couple of days.
Yep.
Get some
chicken. The chicken's beautiful.
Chicken and potato salad. And
yeah.
You get fried chicken or you can get roasted chicken. They got different flavors.
Yep.
They got hot. They got lemon pepper. They got all different kinds of stuff. They roast
garlic herb.
And their fucking sub sandwiches are.
Oh yeah, their subs are amazing.
They're really good. Oh well, now speaking of subs.
Cakes.
There is a Subway inside the Circle K.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So you can go inside, but they close at midnight. So sometimes, like if we go down there before midnight, sometimes we get.
And they and then over there they just built a Dunkin' Donuts, which was kind of disappointing. The donuts were that good. The donuts at Circle K were better.
I'm gonna say, well, they're about the same price. I think the ones at Circle K are slightly cheaper, but it's only like 10 cents cheaper.
Circle K doesn't make them,
but they're comparable.
Circle K doesn't make them. They got evidently like a delivery guy that shows up every day and restocks the donuts, and then he leaves. You can go in there with tongs and get you a whole dozen donuts.
Their donuts are surprisingly decent.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, we're coming back from the club and we're kind of drunk and we stop and get sandwiches.
Get a dozen donuts.
And we're like, man, we're going to get some donuts, won't we? Because, it seems like a good idea. And, and then we'll eat. So we don't eat them all at once, obviously, but like we'll eat them over the next couple days. Senor Stick says no Waffle House. We do have a Waffle House, but it's, how many miles is that?
It's about 4 miles.
I think it's about 4 or 5 miles away.
Yeah.
You can't walk to it.
You can't walk to it. It's always open. We've been there.
Yeah, we've been
after the club. Let's go down. We go down and get some Waffle House.
Yeah, let's go get Waffle House.
And then just get the damn fucking Waffle House fucking big, what is it? Hash brown bowl. It's just a bowl of hash browns with eggs,
on it.
sausage, country gravy, which is white gravy with hamburger in it or sausage in it. Sorry, and you just give me a couple more extra eggs. So you might have 6 eggs in the bowl. You're drunk. You're eating that shit. It's fucking delicious. And
usually like when I'm drunk, I want breakfast food.
Yeah, like breakfast. Yeah.
Like I want eggs and pancakes or waffles or something.
Our breakfast is similar to an English breakfast. Similar. Just we have some other stuff you guys don't have.
No blood pudding.
No, yeah. We don't eat fucking baked beans with breakfast.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like that was one of the weirder things that I thought when I first went over there was that they eat baked beans on toast and also like canned spaghetti on toast.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore. But
that became a thing. That became a thing over there because they had that. That's what they had.
Why you want to mess up the toast like that?
Because that's what they had.
You're gonna make the toast all soggy.
If you could go down to the store, you didn't have much money, you could get that and come back and make that into something.
I'm not a snob. I don't mind canned spaghetti like separately. I've eaten that lots of times. I don't mind Chef Boyardee, honestly. But I'm not gonna put it on toast because you're just gonna make the toast all wet.
Actually,
that's gross. I like crunchy toast.
A few years back, I had Franco-American canned spaghetti. It came in a little can. You could get it, and you could get it hot out of some kind of dispenser. I forgot where I got it. Got it for lunch.
Spaghetti.
It was fucking good, real good. It was a lot better than it used to be. It used to all taste like SpaghettiOs. Shit was fucking nasty.
Yeah, because SpaghettiOs, but
Terrible.
that fucking sauce was like so thin.
Yeah, it was like thin V8 juice.
Yeah.
It's like V8 tomato
or like
juice.
ketchup, like half ketchup and half water.
Terrible. Yeah. The real
like,
modern
wow.
stuff now, like Franco-American, and it is Franco-American. It's this deep red, fucking thick. Tastes like an Italian, an American Italian sauce. It's good.
Yeah, honestly, like as much as people piss and moan, I kind of feel like a lot of fast food and like even kind of processed food or whatever is actually better than it used to be.
Yeah, it's gotten better.
I think, but
Chef Boyardee, I think, stayed about the same because people wanted that. They wanted that flavor, I think.
a couple of times, like, because remember when I worked at that print shop in Longwood?
Yeah.
And there was a 7-Eleven, like, literally right next door. You could just walk to it. And if I didn't bring a lunch that day, I'd go over, and every now and then, they had a Subway over there, too. So sometimes I'd get Subway. But sometimes I'd be like, you know what? I want, like, because they had those little Chef Boyardee things. You could heat them up in the microwave or whatever. And I got some of those, and you know what? They're not bad. They're actually, like, pretty good. And I think they're, like, better than I remember them being when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, he's like, man, these are pretty good, but...
Sticks has asked me if I watch Tasting History. No, I haven't seen that one, I don't think. Maybe I have. We watch every now and then food history shows.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. I love food history stuff. Like, I really like the Weird
Make
History
you another
Food
drink?
channel. Yeah, that'd be good.
All right.
I really like the Weird History Food channel. Like, I'll watch that a lot. They put up a lot of content, too, which is cool. But yeah... I like Waffle House. To be honest, we used to go to Waffle House a lot when, before we moved in together. This was a long time ago. Tom used to live over in Altamont Springs. And we would come back from the club, and if I was staying over at his townhouse, there was a Waffle House right down the street from his house. So it's like, so a lot of times on the way home from the club, we would stop at the Waffle House on the way because it was right there, you know what I mean? So we used to stop there all the time. Used to be Denny's was the kind of go-to, especially after Venue 13, because there was a Denny's right up the street. So a lot of times, a lot of the people that had gone to Venue 13, it would close up, and then everybody would come to the Denny's and like hang out, and everybody would eat together. But I don't know. I kind of feel like Waffle House kind of became the go-to.
Here you go. Yeah,
And Waffle House is honestly like still pretty reasonably priced.
Yeah. Waffle House. Our Waffle House is right near the Central American supermarket.
Yeah, there's
Right
like
there.
it's like pretty, it's right across the street. There's a thing where it's a Lowe's, right?
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
a
Lowe's
Lowe's
and a
car.
Bank of America. And then right across the street, there's like a gym and some other shit. There's like a Mexican restaurant, a Japanese restaurant, which is never open for some reason. It looks like it should be still open, but every time we drive past
always
there,
closed.
it's never open.
The Japanese steakhouse.
Yeah, like I don't get it. But yeah, the Waffle House is in there. Oh, and then there's a Wendy's, and then there's a
Yeah.
McDonald's also.
Yeah, and then across the street there's a Starbucks and a Chili's. Not Chili's.
Five Guys.
No, it's a Five Guys.
Yeah, it's a Five Guys.
It's not a Chili's. What am I thinking of?
It's the yeah. What is
It's
that?
kind of like a Mexican restaurant. Space
shit,
Mexican.
now I can't
It's a
remember.
fake Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
They have burritos and shit there.
It's not Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Is it?
Chipotle right there.
There's a Chipotle there?
Chipotle right there next to
I've never eaten
Starbucks.
at that Chipotle.
Yeah.
I've never been to... Well, no, we've been to that Starbucks, I think. Have we
Yeah,
been?
right. Yeah, we've been to that Starbucks right next.
I mean,
to
you
the
go to
Chipotle.
that Starbucks all the
Yeah,
time.
there's a
but
Chipotle
it's
right
like,
there.
But I think we went there one time, too. We've been to that Five Guys a bunch of times.
Bunch of Central American girls working in there.
Yeah.
Come over there and get in Starbucks and going back over there. Walk in there like they're fucking center of attention. Putting on a whole show and everything. With their fucking Chipotle uniforms on. It's funny. Trying to get everybody to come over to Chipotle, probably.
Well, yeah. Big Joe Grizzly says diner food is way better than fast food and costs the same as fast food. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, if you're gonna...
The problem is finding them around here.
Sure. I mean, but, you know, shit on Waffle House all you want. They don't just have breakfast food. That's just what we usually get.
Yeah.
They have other shit, too, which I've never eaten. I only ever
You
get
gotta kind
breakfast
of
food.
watch. You gotta kind of watch our Waffle House, though. You can
It's
get shot over there.
Well,
Fucking, they had
that's
a shootout.
that's a bad area.
Kind of a bad area. And
Like
dude,
I said, we live in a rural area, but a lot of people get shot.
that
out
is
there.
yeah. And what happens is they're going there after they're coming out of the clubs and the bars. So they're going in and they're fucked up. And they'll get into fights.
Which we do too, but we're not.
Yeah, they're getting into fights and fucking ends up out of a parking lot and they're shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Which, that probably fucking kind of like freak out people in Europe and shit. That's just the way it is.
I mean, hasn't happened for a while. And honestly, like, we've thought about going to that Waffle House, like, during the day sometimes, but it's fucking packed.
It's always packed, yeah.
Like, we went there we were driving around, like, one Saturday or Sunday or something like that, and it was just, like, you couldn't even park in there. There was, like, a bajillion people. Yeah. Every single table was full. The whole bar was full. It was just, the whole place was full. And we were just like, fuck this. I think we just went to fucking Wendy's instead. There was, like, a million people in there. Senior 6 says no IHOP. Yeah, we have IHOP. Honestly, we used to go, there was an IHOP not too far from our old house in Sanford, and we used to go there sometimes. It used to be open all night, or it used to at least be open till like 2 or 3 in the morning, maybe, or 4 in the morning. I don't remember. Was it open all night? It's not anymore, but it used to be.
They're asking if there are all-night diners in Florida. Yeah, there are, but those are in more city areas.
I mean, here, if you want all-night shit, Waffle House,
right.
Denny's, some IHOPs are open 24 hours. The one in Sanford used to be. I don't think it is anymore because we used to go there sometimes after the club. But other than that, like, usually on the way home, we usually just stop at Circle K because
it's convenient.
Because it's right there. It's like literally like right up the street
from our house. We're in an area where everything's spread out. Everything's spread out. So,
everything else is closed.
When you're coming out of the club and shit, you go, man, I gotta drive an extra 6 miles, 3 miles there, and 3 miles back to go get some fucking shit. Man, I've been drinking too much to risk it.
It's usually not worth it.
There might be a police roadblock up there, so you just try to get back. And well, Circle K is on the way,
and it's just got food. It's right there. It's like on the corner. It's literally like I don't even think it's a mile. It's within walking distance.
Yeah. No, Circle K's.
I could walk to.
Circle K's a mile.
Like I said,
a little bit more.
I could walk to that. That's an easy walk.
Yeah.
It's just right down the road. So it's like, and it's right on the way home. And they have a Subway in there, but the Subway closes at midnight. But they have like fresh sandwiches, and I usually get sandwich and some chips and some cheese or fruit or something like that. They have all that kind of stuff.
Waffle House is the country version of an all-night diner.
Yeah.
The thing is they usually put Waffle Houses along country freeways and highways because truckers like them.
Yeah.
It's usually where truckers could get to them, but not the one we have here. The one we have here
is just in a regular. It's like in a strip mall.
It's in a strip mall,
or like on the outside of a strip
in the parking lot of a strip mall.
Yeah. But honestly, like I said, people shit on Waffle House, but it's very reasonably priced. You get a lot of food for the money.
Yeah.
Like more than I can eat. And the food's pretty decent. Well, like I said, I can't speak to their other kinds of food. Like, I've never had any of their sandwiches or anything like that. I usually only just get breakfast food.
Yeah.
Their waffles are good. Their eggs are good. Their grits are okay. Grits are not great, I will say. They don't have a lot of flavor to them. So I don't usually get the grits. Usually I just get waffles and eggs and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I don't even remember, like, you get the big plate with the egg and the waffles or pancakes and the toast and all that kind of stuff, bacon or sausage or whatever. And what is it? It's like a ridiculously low price.
It's under $10.
I think it's under $10.
It's like $8.99, something like that.
And I usually can't finish it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Depending on how drunk I
am. It's because they just do everything in mass. The thing, like, you can go on YouTube and just look at Waffle House fights, and you will just see that Waffle House is fucking known for fighting.
Because, like I said, it's one of the only places that's open super late at night.
After the bars are closed.
So that's where everybody goes and congregates after the bars.
Yeah.
And even though we do that too, we are, we're real cool, and we're just kind of like, hey, man.
Most people are. It's just
we just want some eggs and shit.
Most people are. Most people are cool. Just that some of some Waffle Houses are in real rough areas, and then you got dudes in there that have nothing better to do to go down there and start some shit at the Waffle House after they've been drinking.
Florida man starts some shit in Waffle House.
Yeah.
News at 11.
Yeah, and it can escalate here. But the thing is that we're used to this place, and fucking we could see that shit coming a mile away. Nothing surprises me. Usually they're going to start doing a monkey dance and a monkey walk where they come on, man, come on. They're going to be doing all that kind of shit for a good fucking 5 minutes. And then they're going to start saying, I'm going to go get my gun and all kind of shit like that. And the dude probably does have a gun out in his car.
He probably does.
Probably does, yeah. And then you go, okay, it's time for us to get out of here. And dude's going to fucking go get his 3% Magnum or something.
Yeah, inhale that bacon.
Yeah, hold the bacon. We'll be back in about 10, 15 minutes. And
we're gonna go out here we're
just
get away from the shootout.
Yeah, and there's just no way to stop it. They can't even stop drugs. Okay, they can't even stop anything here. It's just kind of a. That's why here in the state of Florida we have constitutional carry. Anyone who can legally own a gun can legally carry it. So you're kind of like your own police. Because the police here just end up after some shit. They show up after shit's already happened. They cleaned up the mess half the time. And it's just, you could ban all these guns. 2 years later, they'd all be back. And then the fucking drug cartels would be rich because they'd bring them in here. And they'd just give them out to everybody for cheap. And it'd be machine guns. I mean, they can build submarines. That's how good the cartels are. Florida was built on cocaine. It just was. This was one of the main entry points for cocaine and narcotics in the United States. That's what built Miami. That's why some of the Miami buildings fall down, because the fucking drug cartels were involved in the damn construction company. They were fucking using shoddy material in some of the old buildings that were built back in the 70s and the 80s. The cocaine cowboy era, 80s. This was like Miami Vice time. This reason why there was a program called Miami Vice, how wild it was here. It's like Central America, worse than Central America. It was a beautiful fucking city. People making money, great fucking nightclubs, great food. You know, it's like fucking world-class vacation area. And you'll see a dude jump out of his car in the middle of traffic with a MAC-10 suppressor and fucking shooting at other dudes and having a gunfight in the middle of them. And then if you would arrest them dudes, not a single one of them would be American. They'd all be Colombians. And they didn't come through a port or port of entry. They just flew in here on the same airplanes that they'd bring the cocaine in. It's wild, man. People say, what is it, the Wild West? Fuck no. No, it's much worse than the Wild West. It isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the Wild West really wasn't that violent. One of the most famous gunfights was the shootout at the OK Corral, and I think only 3 or 4 dudes got killed at that. That wouldn't even make national news today. Those dudes will have fucking shootouts over drug turf and their little fucking... And no civilians really get killed. You don't really hear anything about it because they're just killing each other. You know? But I've seen video footage of the shootouts. You can see it. You can find it all on YouTube. Dudes opening up on each other in the middle of the street in some fucking wrong part of town. Security cameras pick up the whole thing.
CB says, is there still any little chefs in the U.S. because they're gone in the U.K.? Honestly, I don't know if we had any little chefs in Florida. Maybe we did. I don't remember ever seeing that. But it's been a really long time since I've even heard that name, so I would think not. Senor Six says, can bad grits exist?
No.
No, but mediocre grits can exist.
And the mediocre grits are at Waffle House.
I will argue that Waffle House has mediocre grits.
Yeah.
Just because they're not bad, they're still edible. It's just that they don't really flavor them with anything, so they're a little bland.
Victor said grits used to be a big topic on the show. He still never had them. Fuck out of here. Go ahead and check out. Victor, you've been on this fucking show long enough to even be on testosterone, and you're fucking haven't had grits. Go ahead and check off. You're fired.
I mean, don't really.
No.
Well, the thing about grits, like I said, is that they're kind of a blank slate. So you can't just like eat them plain. You know what I mean? You got to put shit in there or on it. They got to have cheese in them or shrimp or spices or something, or all of the above. So I would, like I said, while the grits at Waffle House are not bad, they're just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just there.
Now, Sticks, I've never been called a Florida man. To become a Florida man, you got to be mentioned in the newspaper or a local news.
Florida man
bites
whatever.
chicken. Bites chicken, you know, or it could be anything.
Or fucks chicken, more likely.
Yeah. Florida man steals pie, kills 2. Just shit like that, you know.
Like I said.
Yeah.
Florida man throws alligator into Wendy's drive-through window.
It will say Florida man 36.
Yeah, okay.
Comma. Throws alligator into the drive-through window.
Yeah, which did happen.
That did happen.
Although I think a woman did that. I don't think that was a man. But I'm.
Well, it'd be Florida woman.
It might have happened more than once, though.
Yeah.
I thought the story that I remembered was a woman that did it, but I could be wrong. Somebody threw an alligator into. I'm pretty sure it was a Wendy's, into a Wendy's drive-through window. What circumstances led up to that, I do not remember. She was just mad they didn't get her Frosty right, or I don't know.
Yeah.
She was just like, here, have an alligator. I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances were, but I just remember that
CB's asked me what grits are. Man, everybody fucking... I've been asked this many times on the show, but not recently.
Yeah, see, it's been a long time.
You can get grits. You can get grits in the UK. You'd probably have to order them. They're dry. They come in a big old fucking bag like flour. And they yield a lot of food. What you do is you take corn. Okay? Dry kernel corn. Kind of like, the corn that you would, not necessarily make popcorn out of, but kind of like the corn that you would feed to cattle. You take that and you put it in a big barrel. And you put a bunch of lye in it.
Yeah.
And stir it. And then put water filled up to the top. And I think they cover it, I think. And what it does is that lye eats that fucking dry corn up. It eats it up and it pops like popcorn. Pop, like that. But it's soggy. It has like the same consistency as like cauliflower. I think we call it cauliflower probably.
Kinda.
And when it does that, it's called hominy. You can take hominy out of that fucking bowl, and it's kind of like preserved. It won't ever go bad because it's got lye in it and shit. This is some fucking Civil War shit.
It reminds me a little bit of, you know how in Canada they have poutine with the curds?
It's like that.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Polenta. Okay, what you do
It's
is...
kind of, grits are kind of, it's kind of like polenta.
Polenta, yeah. You take the hominy. And the hominy, you can cook it. You can just heat it up in a pan of water until it's hot. Pour the water out. Put butter on it, salt, pepper, and eat it. It's good. It's like it'd be kind of like having cauliflower. It's a side dish. The other thing you can do is you can take the hominy and make grits. And you take the grits and you dry the hominy back out. So now it's kind of like popcorn in a way because it's dry hominy. And once it's dry, you fucking grind it into a consistency a little bit thicker than cornmeal. So you got this white powder. It's like this, not powder, it's white gritty, like sand. I guess this is what it is. You take that and cook it in water, and it becomes grits, which is like polenta.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any flavor other than corn. Hominy flavor. What we do is we use that as a base to make what we call grits. Is you could add butter into it, salt, pepper.
Well, it needs butter.
Cream,
A
maybe.
lot of butter.
Cheese. And meat. And maybe things like peppers. You know, you might put some red peppers in
We
there.
put hard-boiled eggs in
Hard-boiled
ours.
eggs, yeah.
We put hard-boiled eggs in
Well,
ours. And bacon bits.
Bacon bits. I have the hard-boiled eggs separate, and then you put it into a bowl, and then you take the hard-boiled eggs and you line them on the side.
Yeah.
And then make it pretty. You take a spoon, you go through the hard-boiled egg, and then get you some grits and eat it.
Yeah.
It's good, real good.
But like I said, it's a side.
It's a side.
Although, if you go to some like soul food restaurants in the U.S., they have shrimp and grits.
Yeah, real
which
good.
is grits with like shrimp in it, but that usually has like more spices in it, like cayenne and stuff like that, which is slightly hot. And that's actually really, really good. So it's usually a side dish, but it can be made a main dish if you add other things to it.
Now, when you're outside the South, there are no grits. Okay, you're not going to find any grits outside the South unless you go to a soul food restaurant. That's where black people eat. Soul food is Southern food. That's just what they're calling it because it's outside the South. I can go to any soul food restaurant and eat like I was eating in Mississippi. That's just normal food from Mississippi. The main difference with soul food, though, is the differences in family recipes. A family might do something slightly different. Like we got a soul food restaurant here, Chantel's restaurant, which is it's a southern soul food restaurant.
Yeah, it's in Sanford.
Her grits, she adds coconut milk to it, man, and it's fucking great.
Holy shit, her
Man,
her
I was like, Chantel, what the fuck?
Shrimp and grits is
what's
so
the
good.
difference? What did you? I put coconut milk in it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, okay.
That's like the best shrimp and grits I've ever
Yeah.
had at that restaurant. It's so
Yeah.
good. Hopefully is that still there?
It's still there.
It's like right next.
Chantel's in Sanford.
It's right next to Mannequins.
Yep.
Well, we used to go there after Mannequins a lot because it was open till like 3 or 4 in the morning.
We were getting fried chicken and waffles.
Yeah, you couldn't get the shrimp and grits at night, but you
Yeah.
could get chicken and waffles though.
Yeah.
And their chicken and waffles is
You get a
also
big piece
good.
of fried chicken. Usually it's a chicken leg quarter on top of a waffle. You put butter on both sides of it and pour fucking maple syrup on it. You're with a knife and fork getting chicken off that bone and eating a waffle with it. Like a Belgian type waffle. It's good.
It is very good.
Yeah. That's some southern shit there too.
Yummy.
Something invented probably at a late night at a Waffle House on chicken night or something.
Yeah, it's like fried chicken.
Yeah,
on top of a waffle.
Yeah, I don't want the whole. Yeah, I don't want the strawberries on there. No strawberries. Put that chicken leg on it. Yeah, put some.
They're like, what? And then they're like,
what?
oh wait, that's
Yeah,
delicious.
it's good. It's delicious. With that, with the
Well, because
the
people
butter and
eat,
the syrup.
Well, people eat fried chicken with honey on it.
Yeah,
and
maple syrup's even
syrup
better, even better.
Yeah, is kind of the same thing.
You
So it's
fried
not that
chicken and
weird.
maple syrup, man. There's no you get that maple syrup warm. You can dunk fucking fried chicken in it. Oh yeah,
it's real
yeah.
good. It's real good.
That's you'll get fat, but that's what we do. We get fat.
We get fat. Like I said, we don't eat like that all the time, though. Obviously.
Yeah.
I've eaten one thing today, and that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. We're on a diet.
Carnitas.
Yeah, we're on carnitas. I got carnitas down there. We'll eat some more when we get done.
Yeah, okay. High Desert says, Florida woman if Wonder Woman lived in Florida and was on meth. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Kind of.
The
she'd be a crack hoe, like you said. And
the alligator
Yeah.
in the fast food
Yeah.
drive-through. Tammy looked it up, and she said it was a 24-year-old man. So it was a man. Okay, so
Okay.
it wasn't. So it was a Florida man,
Okay.
and it was a Wendy's. So I did remember that right.
Yeah.
It didn't give a reason.
Yeah.
For throwing the alligator in there, but see, it really did happen though. See, I remember
Tammy
that.
said
I
she
gotta
had
think.
grits in Boston and it was white people. Yeah, you probably got that shit at Red Bones down in fucking Davis fucking Square. I know the restaurant you went to. That's the fake Southern restaurant. I used to go to it though. They had real good hush puppies, even though they were fake. Yankee cornbread and Yankee fucking hush puppies are just wrong. A Yankee will give you cornbread, it'll be nice and fucking thick and light and fluffy like cake. And it'll be soft and sweet. And end up put some like honey butter on it. That's not cornbread. Real cornbread from fucking Mississippi. Deep South cornbread is only about an inch thick. It's fucking not, it doesn't rise very much. And it's extremely coarse and kind of, it's real crispy on the edges of it, where it's because you got to make it in a cast iron skillet, and it's a non-southerner usually can't eat it. It's good, but you can't eat it on its own. You can put butter on it, but you're like, why am I doing this? It's better to use as a side. You're like soaking up like the drippings and the gravies from something kind of like collard greens. Collard greens. You might have ham hocks in there, which is like the wrist of the wrist meat off of a fucking pig.
Pig wrists.
Pig wrists. You debone it. It's good though. That without ham hocks, you cannot make real red beans. Real red beans have ham hocks in it.
Yeah, you need a ham
and you want them hocks to be fucking smoked. Fucking great flavor. I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, I can't help you. I was in the bathroom.
I forgot what I'm talking about.
CB said we need a good food restaurant in my town that does food from the South.
Oh, she's talking about Southern. I was talking about Red Bones up at Davis Square in Boston. The fake Southern restaurant. It was a good restaurant. I would go there, but it was fake. They had some hush puppies, man. They were like those. They were about a little bit bigger than a large egg. Okay, they were a little bit smaller than a cue ball or a pool ball, which that's way too big.
That's a big hush puppy.
It's fucking big. You get like 3 of them. And it was kind of a soft cornbread. And that's not the way a hush puppy is. The hush puppy is small. It's the size of a spoon because you're using a spoon to scoop the batter up and you're throwing it into fucking bacon grease.
Yeah.
And it's cornmeal batter that's been seasoned slightly, not much. You deep fry it and roll it over. And you use it to make a side. Now the whole story was that they'd feed them to the dogs, make the dogs stop asking for food around the campfire. Probably not. I think it was just
that's the urban.
It's legend. Just a legend. I think that's just a legend. I
Probably.
think what they're using is the mix from cornmeal, real southern cornmeal, which that would have been real common. And they were cooking grease. They were cooking bacon and had a lot of grease. And they said, "Hey, put some of that in there." That's all they did. And then that became a hush puppy. And you'd have that as a side, like in exchange for French fries.
Usually here you see it in seafood restaurants. They usually serve it alongside like fried fish.
Yeah. And you usually like shake Tabasco sauce on it or Crystal. Crystal's a lot cheaper than Tabasco sauce. It tastes the same. They make more of it. Or you use it to sop up, like you said, like the drippings from fucking collard greens.
Yeah.
Turnip greens and stuff. So cornbread and hush puppies are always kind of dry when they're done authentically. And you're always trying to moisturize them by using them kind of like the way
Indians... That's kind of
what
what they're for.
Yeah, kind of like the way Indians would use naan to like fucking...
soak up
stuff.
The juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
CB said when the USAF came over to work with the RAF in Scotland, the Americans made gumbo.
Oh, yeah, I make gumbo all the time.
Gumbo. Did you guys like it? Because gumbo is delicious. Tammy said, my Grammy used to use her turkey carcass after the holidays to make gravy and have homemade waffles and gravy. Oh, man, that sounds good. Now I'm hungry. I'm so excited that like Thanksgiving is coming up this week. I'm just gonna have like a relaxing, slow work week, and then Thursday I just want to pig out. We always do, even though it's just us. We always do like a big turkey and like a bunch of sides and pies and stuff like that. Just it's Thanksgiving. You got to do it. I love Thanksgiving food, man. I love it. And Tammy says black-eyed peas. That's another... You know what? Black-eyed peas is another thing that I never used to like. Like, my grandma would always make it on New Year's, because that was kind of the thing that you did. You made black-eyed peas on New Year's. And ham. And I was always like, no thanks. I didn't really start liking them until Tom started using them to make Indian dishes with them. Like he made, I can't remember what it was, but he made some kind of Indian dish with black-eyed peas, and man, it was really, really good. And so I kind of got into them like after that, you know what I mean? High Desert said I have to bring wine to a Thanksgiving dinner. What wine goes with Thanksgiving turkey? Oh, geez.
White wine.
I guess. I was going to say you're asking the wrong person. I'm not like...
Poultry, so it's white.
Yeah. That's about all I know. Like, yeah, white wine usually goes with poultry and fish, right? And then, like, red meat that's red wine. And
yeah, Tammy, okay, Tammy knows Southern cornbread. She's married to a Southern guy.
Yeah.
She's talking about black-eyed peas. Yeah, I do black-eyed peas every now and then. Gotta have ham, though. And a lot of times I'm using ham to make sandwiches. I forget all about black-eyed peas. Haven't had them in a long time.
Yeah, like I said, I think the last time you made them, it was like an Indian dish that you made them with, and that was really good.
Yeah, I made like an Indian version of that. Because they use them.
Yeah. I really
It was either Indian or Arabic. I forgot.
Yeah, what was that? It was really good.
Yeah.
I think you made it when some of our friends were coming over, because you made like a bunch of different dishes. I think that was for that party that we had.
Yeah.
And you made like 3 or 4 different dishes, and you made like some vegetarian ones, because some of the people were vegetarians or vegans.
Yeah.
So we made like, 3 or 4 different things.
Yeah. See, black-eyed peas, the Middle East doesn't have black-eyed peas. When the U.S. Army the U.S. Army always had black eyed peas, especially in the 80s, 90s, up until very recently. Army militaries was Southern, had a Southern accent to it, okay? And the chow hall menu was Southern. Because the old U.S. Army was just Southern boys, usually, or Southwest, Latin type guys were in there. Well, what am I talking about? Excuse me. So, U.S. Army got involved in Iraq during that second war, the second Iraq War. And they had chow halls up everywhere. And you had Iraqi security guys and guys under training, you know, all over Iraq. They were training to build the new Iraqi army under U.S. support. Well, we were feeding them. And we fed them black-eyed peas. And Iraqis loved it. They'd never seen that. Even their civilians evidently were trying to get a source of black-eyed peas from the army. But they couldn't just hand them out. And evidently a civilian company, an Iraqi civilian company, started importing black-eyed peas. They became like a thing in Iraq for a while. And which I think that's funny.
Well, I mean, if somebody develops a taste for something, somebody's going to be like, hey, there's a gap in the market. I'm
yeah. So evidently black-eyed
so.
peas are a thing in Iraq. And I don't know if they still are, but evidently they were for a while. They liked them. They'd never seen those. They're good.
Senior 6 said, Jenny, what is your favorite holiday recipe from the cookbook? I'm a big fan of, well, all the shit in there is good, but I think the Brazilian cream corn that you make for Thanksgiving is really good.
Yeah, I always have that with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we always make that with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's super fattening.
Yeah, and you got to make more of it than you think because you go through that shit fast. You're like, oh man, this shit's so good. Yeah, Brazilian cream style corn is made. It's not like American cream style corn where you take corn and you just kind of like cook it and then blend a little bit of it. No, this is whole kernel corns, unmolested, in a creamy sauce. Almost kind of like cream carrots.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Which is also good.
Yeah, it's also good. Yeah, it's cream and butter and sugar and salt. Yeah. You just got to do it right.
We always make like a big pot of it for Thanksgiving for a side. Also, I'm going to say I'm a big fan of the gooey butter cake in there, which my grandma used to make sometimes we could talk her into making it on Thanksgiving, but usually she'd be like, no, you have to wait till Christmas. Like it was like this special thing that she would only make one time a year, even though we tried to talk her into making it other times. And it was like super simple. I don't even know, like she got the recipe from her mom, who was my great grandma, and I think she just got it like off the side of a box or some shit, which I think happened a lot with like grandmas back then. Like they would just get something from, you know, the side of a box, right? Yeah. Or like the back of a jar. And then people would be like, this is a sacred family recipe that just came from like Nestle or some shit, but whatever. So it's like, but it was basically like, I don't even remember all the shit that's in it, but you took just a regular yellow cake mix that you got from a box, and then you mix like other stuff with it. It's kind of like, it's really, really rich, and it's almost kind of like a coffee cake, but it's a lot richer. And man, that shit was so good. Like you could really only eat like one piece of it before it was like too.
What are you talking about?
Gooey butter cake.
Yeah, that's what somebody says. Yeah, somebody's asking more elaboration. Gooey butter cake's almost kind of like bread pudding.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cross between coffee cake and bread pudding.
Yeah,
like it's kind of cinnamony, but it's real rich and it's real sweet.
Yeah,
it's super good though. It's super good.
It's not made the same way as bread pudding, but bread pudding is also a cake-like thing.
Yeah.
And it's got icing in it and fucking cinnamon and butter, shit ton of butter, and raisins. A lot of times, like, what do you call them? Pecans, crushed pecans. And they usually pour a sauce on it. And some people put, like, melted chocolate sauce.
Not gooey butter cake. We're talking about bread pudding.
Talking about bread pudding. But the best I've had on it was I used to work for a restaurant where I used to bake it, but I forgot how to make it. It was a It was a whiskey flavored sauce, and we used whiskey and sugar and all kinds of shit, and you cooked it. And it was Jack Daniels. I think it required, if I remember correctly, an entire bottle of Jack Daniels, because I was making it by the gallons.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we just kept it in little containers in the refrigerator. And they'd put it out on a steam table, and the waitresses would, once it would heat up, the waitresses would use a ladle and ladle it on top of that bread pudding. Because a lot of the dinners came with bread pudding automatically included. You got a dessert with it. So a lot of that went out the door. And the bread pudding was French bread that had been sat around and kind of went dry. You use that. You make bread pudding out of it. Break it all up, put milk in there and sugar and shit, and fucking turn it into stuff, put it into a pan and bake it.
I have to say, I was never a huge fan of bread pudding. A year or two ago, my sister paid for me for my birthday, to go to Disney, and we did this whole big thing, and we went and ate at, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it's kind of a famous one, in Disney lore. And what they do, I think it's $50 a person, and they have a set, a prefix menu, but it's all you can eat. If you run out of stuff, they'll bring you more stuff, you know what I mean? And holy shit, it was really good. But the dessert was bread pudding, and that bread pudding was fucking amazing. It was really, really good. And I don't even like bread pudding. So, but they would just keep bringing you food until you couldn't eat anymore. Tammy said the pumpkin soup is good from our cookbook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't make that last year, did we?
I'll get some pumpkins this year.
Oh, maybe we should. Man, I love pumpkins.
I think I got some frozen pulp.
We should still have some.
I think I have some frozen. Well, I got to go back there and look.
I actually didn't get any pumpkins for Halloween this year. I didn't carve any. And, so we don't have any. We didn't buy any this
Basically,
year.
I took that pumpkin soup, added cream to it, salt and stuff, and then curry and chicken one time, and made it a chicken pumpkin curry, man.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah,
that was good too.
Yeah,
but just the soup, honestly. We didn't make any last year, but I think the year before that we made that look like an appetizer, for Thanksgiving, and that was actually really, really good.
I think I put turmeric and garam masala. It didn't make it hot. It was just savory. It was good.
I'll eat pretty much.
Haven't had that in a while.
I'll eat pumpkin anything.
Pumpkin curry. Jen was like, "Oh, this is great." It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I love pumpkin anything. I know that's very basic.
Pumpkin chicken curry.
I even I like the pumpkin spice latte. I like all that shit. Because it reminds me that it's not summer anymore.
Yeah.
Because you know how much I hate summer in Florida. So it's anything fall related, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? All about it. High Desert said I love bread pudding. Yeah, see, it's it's good if it's done well. It's but it's never my go-to. You know what I mean? It's just at this restaurant that we were at. Like I said, it was a prefix menu, so it was just kind of they're we'll bring you as much as you want, but it's you have to eat these particular things, and that was the only dessert was bread pudding. But that bread pudding was really, really good.
Our bread pudding was really good, man, and it had white chocolate chips in it.
Oh, okay.
There were chunks of white chocolate. There were square chunks of white chocolate that were in there. I think it might have had raisins in it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. You probably don't like it for raisins, but
I don't know.
It had that in it, I think.
Why do they gotta put raisins in everything?
Because it normally has raisins in it. If I
know it does, but
and then it had that whiskey sauce poured over it. It's looking good, man.
Didn't for a long time. What was that restaurant? Was it Chili's or TGI Fridays or Ruby Tuesdays or one of those? They had a whole Jack Daniel's grill.
Yeah.
Where they had a whole subset of dishes that had Jack Daniel's sauce on them.
Well, that sauce we were using was basically kind of like caramel. Caramel topping. Yeah. It was like that, except it was it tastes like whiskey and whiskey and sugar. Real good.
Which can't go wrong with that, right?
It was basically caramel.
Mm-hmm. I like whiskey.
Yeah, I like whiskey too.
We just don't usually buy it. Shit, man! Now I want Jack and Coke. Maybe I'll get one tomorrow. Wait, are they more expensive than
what's that?
What I've been drinking?
I don't know. No, they had decent whiskey there.
All right, I don't know. Yeah, Tammy said that's what I've been doing, making the soup for an easy app before dinner. I've also made the Brazilian corn for the past 3 years, and every year it's a hit.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean...
Yeah, Brazilian corn's no joke.
I never... Well, like I said, growing up with Thanksgiving, you always had, like, corn. We either made corn on the cob or we just had cream corn. But you making the Brazilian cream corn, I'm like, oh my God. This is so much better. This is so much better.
Tammy, you can basically substitute that corn with sliced cooked carrots. That's good, too.
That is also good. We've made that.
Yeah, they did that in Brazil also. And shit, you can get canned. You can get that canned, so that means you don't have to cook the carrots and slice them. They'll come out of the can already sliced like that. Just drain them, put them in that sauce.
Too. Maybe we should make a pumpkin soup and a carrot soup.
Yeah. Well, it's not
or
really, it's
or
a
pumpkin / carrot soup. That would be good. Soup. Senior Stick says, don't only posers drink Jack and Coke.
No, anybody can drink Jack and Coke.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really worry about it. I usually get, at the bar, at the club we go to now, I usually just get vodka and orange juice. But
yeah.
I mean, Jack and Coke sounds good too. But I don't know if they're more expensive, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're actually,
carrots.
Yeah, I mean, the carrots are good too. Like,
you want to get sliced.
Yeah, we've made that a couple times also, and that is also good. Like, sometimes we made both things.
If you use fresh ones, it's going to be even better. But you can use canned.
Yeah. I mean, fresh is always better.
Yeah, fresh is always better, but you got to cook them. But the carrots are cheap.
They are, yeah. I feel like carrots are a really underrated vegetable.
Yeah.
They actually have a nice flavor to them. You can do a lot with them. Like I said, carrot soup is actually, like, quite delicious.
Yeah, cook it and then puree it.
Yeah, really good. Man, now I'm looking forward to, like, Thanksgiving. We can make all kinds of stuff.
Remember carrot salad?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like that. It's got raisins in it.
I know.
Carrots, mayonnaise, raisins, and sugar.
I know. Well, okay, so here's something that I've always been interested in. I'm always kind of interested in this. Why on earth did all of this stuff come to be called salad when it's clearly not salad? Like, most of the stuff was just either shit that was, like, suspended in Giallo, for one thing. Or, like, just random shit suspended in Giallo. Like, black olives and all this other, just, like, we're putting it in lime Giallo. Or you were making stuff that was just, like, a couple of vegetables, like, with a bunch of mayonnaise and pineapple chunks and mandarin orange things out of a can and all this other
It came from, well, thank you. It came from a time when most people ate out of cans and jars. Mm-hmm. And one of the greatest inventions was all that damn Heinz. All right, Heinz had ketchup, they had mustard, they had mayonnaise. They also had relish, pickle relish and stuff. And they had a bunch of other pickled stuff. But because everybody had that, and evidently mayonnaise could be kept around without fucking refrigeration. I wouldn't do it.
Me neither.
But evidently they kind of did back then before refrigerators. They probably kept it in an ice box.
Probably. I would hope so.
But
that's salmonella waiting to happen.
I think a lot of times they used all of it at once. They just got a thing, and you had canned vegetables. So they're using canned vegetables and canned fruit and shit, and they're mixing it with what they have, which is mayonnaise.
Yeah, just throw everything in a bowl and then suspend it in Jello. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and then later they make an aspic and shit. Yeah. Not a Jello.
Like some weird fucking shit in there.
Yeah.
Pimentos and all that.
Pimentos.
Who fucking knows what's in
with
there? With
like fucking fake shrimp and shit in there, or real shrimp maybe in the aspic.
Or the one, the scariest one to me, because I love those like old fucking fucked up Weight Watchers cards, like from the 60s and 70s. And the one, I don't even remember what all was in it, but it was shaped like a fish. Yeah. Like it was made in a fish-shaped mold.
Yeah.
And it looked like, it was like a pink kind of color.
Yeah.
And pretty sure there was black olives in it, because I think they used black olives for the eyes.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't even remember what all was in there, but it sounded revolting. Yeah. And it looked revolting.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but no, mayonnaise doesn't require refrigeration until you open it. So,
oh, yeah, I know. But
so
I'm just saying.
Probably back in the days they were doing that. It wasn't a very big a jar. Like nowadays, you know, here in the U.S., you're going to get a jar. It's a half fucking gallon. Okay.
We need a lot of that shit, okay?
Because you might, like I said, you're going to get a better price if you buy a bunch of it. So it was probably a smaller jar, and they would just execute a recipe. And it was something that was shelf stable, but then it was all eaten at once. And then, like you said, weird gelatins. They would take gelatin and cut that up in cubes and put mayonnaise in that.
Yeah.
They would have like mayonnaise and whipped cream
Yeah.
and Giallo and fruit, and I think that shit was called ambrosia or something, wasn't it?
Somebody just asked about that.
Ambrosia, yeah.
Said, Jenny, if you enjoyed Waldorf salad and/or ambrosia salad.
Yeah.
I have eaten it. Somebody would always,
Good,
every
man.
single holiday when I was growing up, somebody would make it or bring it.
I like it. I like ambrosia.
Yeah,
Waldorf
and
salad
sometimes
like that
it
too.
had flaked coconut.
That's
in
Waldorf
it.
salad. It's
Yeah.
oranges, some flaked coconut.
Like mandarin oranges out of a can.
Yeah, mayo.
Pineapple chunks out of a can. Flaked coconut out of a bag.
Yeah. I think it might have had raisins in it.
Probably raisins.
And then I
which
think
is
some
probably why I
kind
didn't
of something
eat
like
it.
walnuts or something like
Yeah, usually
pecans
had
would have
nuts
been in
in
it. And then it would have had a mixture of mayonnaise. I don't remember if it had any vinegar in it and sugar.
So like not a
And then-
salad.
God, it's a salad. You chill it.
Technically, I guess.
Salad doesn't necessarily mean lettuce. It just
Or
means something.
vegetable. I always
something
think of
cold
salad
with
as like vegetables. I always
Yeah,
think.
no. Well, cold. Vegetables and fruit.
I mean, there can be fruit on it because
Yeah.
I've had, I'll eat salad with like cranberries on it and stuff
Well,
like that.
like
but-
on a Waldorf salad, the white mayonnaise is the dressing with the coconut and everything. So it's just, they're just taking this shit down in different paths. You're having savory salads and sweet salads.
I guess so.
A carrot salad's a sweet salad.
Yeah.
It's got sugar in it.
I mean, carrots are kind of sweet.
Yeah, but then there's sugar in it too.
Didn't ambrosia also have Cool Whip in it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Whipped cream.
Okay. But Cool
Yeah.
Whip isn't exactly.
Yeah, not quite whipped cream.
That's not really.
But you
whipped
could
cream.
probably make it better with whipped cream.
You could make it with
I
whipped
think
cream.
it's whipped cream and mayonnaise. And
But I think when my grandma made it, I'm pretty sure it was Cool Whip.
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, ambrosia was also whipped cream and mayonnaise.
Which just I like both of those things
Yeah.
separately, but there's just the thought of those two things together kind of makes me want to hurl.
Well, there's sugar in there, so you don't really taste
know.
the mayonnaise. The mayonnaise, it just all kinds of it blends into like a sweet creamy sauce. It does have a little bit of a tang to it though, because there's a little bit of vinegar in there.
I don't know, something about it just really.
And then you
never
got the
appealed to
fruit.
me.
It's good.
It's just. never
It's just 60s and 60s as hell.
It is very
Super 60s.
That's super retro.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember it from every single holiday growing up.
It's because it came out of cans.
Yeah.
Most people ate cans.
Because that was like futuristic.
Well, that's why there's British people. That's why British people eating fucking
SpaghettiOs
on toast and fucking canned beans for breakfast and shit. That's because that's what they had.
The first time.
That's what they had. In the United States, our equivalent to that would have been Vienna sausages. Vienna sausage, spam.
Oh, my daddy. does.
They
even smell gross.
Yeah, we had stuff that we did shit like that, just not with those two cans. Like those, what we did with those bean cans that you guys have, we get 3 or 4 cans of those and empty it out into a bowl. Maybe 5 cans. Make a big bunch of it. Put a bunch of brown sugar in it. Squeeze a whole bunch of mayo in it. Take a bunch of relish. Put that in it. Mix it up. A lot of brown sugar in it. Put it back into a pan and bake it. And bake them till it all dries down almost into like a little fucking sticky paste. Put that into a fucking bowl. Put sour cream on it. Hell yeah, it's good, man. Yeah, and actually we had green peppers in it too. Diced green pepper.
I was gonna say about the spaghetti on toast thing
Yeah.
is that the first time I went to the UK, my ex-husband made spaghetti on toast for breakfast the next morning, and and I'm just like, I didn't want to be an asshole because it's like I was only 22 or whatever, and I just got married, I just moved to a new country or whatever. And I wanted to say, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then
what the fuck is that?
I kind of started eating. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is fucking gross." Like I said, I like both of those things separately.
Yeah, not together.
But not together.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of ate a little bit of it, like just to be a sport, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sneak and throw this away.
Yeah.
And I snuck and threw it away, and then he found out and he got mad.
Yeah, he got mad about that.
But
I saw an American guy trying that.
Because I was like, why you want to, like I said, why you want to ruin toast like that?
Or
I like crispy toast with butter on it.
Yeah.
Or peanut butter.
Actually,
or butter and peanut butter.
I think
that's good too. Or jam is good also.
I think the reaction video, I think it might have been beans on toast.
Yeah,
Does that sound right?
That's a thing too.
Okay. Yeah. American dude fucking put the beans on toast just like he's instructed, but some British dude told him how to do it before to make the video. And he fucking tried it and takes it and he goes, you know what? This isn't bad. This is pretty good. Because I see what they're talking about. Because I wouldn't really make this here on my own, you know.
Yeah, like why would you?
But I see what they're talking about. Yeah.
Like I said, anything that's gonna make your toast like all fucking soggy, I'm not about it.
You kind of have to go out of your ways to find those beans now. They used to be everywhere, but they're not as prevalent as they used to be. They're kind of out of style.
Maybe. Now, Senor Stick says beans on toast is breakfast beans. It's a different kind of beans.
It's a different kind of bean.
But still, like I said, that is a thing. But I like canned spaghetti or tinned, as they would say.
When I was
like
a little
tinned spaghetti
kid,
on toast, I'm just grossed out by that.
When I was a little kid, I remember going to the grocery store with my mom. And they would have a canned section. And the beans section that you're talking about to make the baked beans, the same thing the British were eating basically, it's like kind of in a slightly tomatoey kind of sauce in a way. I don't know if it was tomato. Maybe it was just bean juice. I don't know. But that section was huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like 15 feet of beans. By different companies and shit.
That's my new indie band.
Like 15 feet of beans. You're like, damn, they're eating a lot of fucking these. But nowadays, you'd find that section might be 3 shelves and maybe 3 feet wide. That's what it was like now. There might be 3 or 4 different brands and a store brand.
I'm not averse to beans. I'm just saying.
They're a component
Yeah.
to make other things in a side dish.
And I'm not putting them on toast.
Yeah.
Like I said, all I'm putting on toast is butter and or peanut butter.
That was done out of
or strawberry.
That was something like we would do out of necessity, but it caught on. It was just
like
something
I said,
they had.
Why are you making my toast all soggy? Don't fuck up my toast like that. I like nice crispy toast.
All right, here's an American equivalent. This wasn't from my generation. This is my dad's generation. They would go down to the store and get all kinds of shit from the fucking dime store, what they called it. Come back and get all kinds of candy. Well, when he was a kid, they'd come back with Coca-Cola, some candy, and a pack of peanuts, salted peanuts. And he'd take, and this was a thing now, okay? This wasn't something my dad invented. They all kind of did this in Mississippi. He'd pour the Coca-Cola into a glass and then pour that whole bag of salted peanuts into that Coca-Cola and drink it and eat the peanuts out of it as it went. I saw him doing it one time. This is back in the 80s. Late 80s, he's eating that shit. I go, what the fuck you doing? Oh, yeah, try it. And I was, well, it's okay. Next time I'm going to try it. I went to the dime store a couple days later and got it and made it. And I was just like, I don't see it. And he was like, well, you had to grow up doing it.
I guess.
Like,
I could see... Because
it's sweet and salty.
Sweet and salty are really good together. Because I will submit that chocolate-covered potato chips... particularly Lay's potato chips with like a little bit of Hershey's chocolate on them are fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Like I used to do that sometimes. Like you get a bag of Lay's, you get a Hershey bar, you break off a little piece of the Hershey bar and put it on top of the Lay's potato chip and eat it all together, and it was really, really good.
Yeah.
So, and that's why they sell like salted chocolate bars nowadays.
Yeah.
Because like I said, salt and sweet is good together. But I don't really see... Because look, I don't even like boiled peanuts. I love peanuts. They're one of my favorite things. But I like roasted peanuts. I don't like boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
To me, that just, it saps all their flavor out. They get all mushy. I'm not
like
really into
peanuts.
it. One of the things I like about peanuts is that they're crunchy.
Yeah.
And boiled peanuts are not crunchy. They're mushy like beans.
But things like, putting spaghetti on toast and putting peanuts in a glass of Coca-Cola, they did that because that's what they had.
Yeah.
That was from another era. That's what they had. They had limited choices.
Yeah, so like if you didn't grow up with that and then you try, you're like, what the fuck? This is gross.
Yeah. I mean...
You don't have the nostalgia.
Yeah. I go back and visit my dad, back in the 80s before I was in the army and shit. And see the shit that he was eating, and I'd try to eat the same thing. One of the things that he would go is he'd stop on his way back from work. He'd stop, or sometimes he'd go, run and go get us some Blue Bell, get us some ice cream. Go get me a pig feet and a fucking pickled pig's feet and a pickled and two pickled eggs and shit. I was like, all right.
They used to have them in big jars, like
jar
on the counter at the convenience store.
They have a big jar.
It's a big jar of pickled eggs and a big jar of pickled pig's feet.
Yeah, big old heavyweight 300-pound black woman working back there. She was funny as fuck. I forgot her name. said, my dad wants one of them pig. Who want them pig feet? And I said, yeah, my dad wants one of them pig feet. I'm gonna get you one. And she'd freaking get a big old pair of tongs and reach down in there and get a pig feet, put it in a damn little paper square bucket thing that they would give it, little paper tray. And then says he wants 2 of them eggs. He says, all right, I'll give you them 2 of them eggs like that. And she's ringing me out. I got the thing covered. I drive it. It's only about a mile back to the house. So I drive back. He's eating that shit. And it was fucking smelling strong, man. It smelled really strong.
Pungent.
Yeah, it's like vinegary. Like, if vinegar could smoke crack, it was smoking crack. That's what it is. Vinegar on crack.
I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And he's eating that fucking pig feet. And he goes, yeah, it's good, man. We grew up eating this and this shit getting all over his beard and shit. And, and he goes, here. Take one of these, take his little pinky toe. You know, it had bones in it and shit.
Nah, I'm good.
So I take a little bit of that and eat that shit. It's just like, oh, man. Sour as fuck. Sour. Super, super sour. Like pickled.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, super sour.
I love pickles.
Yeah.
Like, I'll eat pickles, all that shit. I'll eat a whole jar of, like, dill pickles all day long.
The meat was real tender, like it was cooked.
Other pickled stuff, I don't know so much.
I think that those feet were put in there raw. And I think the pickling process cooks it.
Cooked them?
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's like a chemical cook. I think. I couldn't really tell you. But
you're not going to get me.
It was real kind of like slightly mushy.
Mm.
And if you think a dill pickle's sour, it's like 3 times that. And then he goes, here, have one of these eggs. And I took the egg like that and been about halfway through it, and it was just like getting hit with a fucking truck of fucking vinegar. That's what it was like, man.
He's getting,
I was like,
like getting run over with
he's
a
laughing.
truck full of vinegar. A truck full of vinegar, and the truck is also made of vinegar.
And it's burning vinegar. And it's driving on vinegar. Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I love eggs. That's one of my favorite foods. But I was never really into pickled eggs.
Oh, man, the pickled eggs.
I love fried eggs. I love hard-boiled eggs. I love scrambled eggs. I will eat all kind of eggs.
For you foreigners, it's hard-boiled eggs put in a big jar and there's vinegar and they pickle them. They're in there for a long time. And usually they're red.
Yeah, they're usually
bright red. They got some kind of food coloring on them. And you bite through them, and I think I remember they were red all throughout it. Like the dye had seeped in there.
It's been a long time.
I think they were red. Like I said,
when I was growing up, there was a convenience store. It was a 7-Eleven for a while, and then it was like just a mom and pop kind of place.
I remember
that was right behind my grandparents' house, and they had the big jar of pickled eggs and the big jar of pickled pig's feet, on the front counter.
They were on the front counter, and people were eating them, man, eating them like crazy. Well, last time I went down there, my dad died. That was not even a year ago, was it?
Yeah.
Not even a year ago. I stopped at that same dime store to see if that chick was still working there. She wasn't there.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and I said, who's that big old black chick used to work out here? And he goes, I don't know. The dude that worked there says, I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. I says, this is back in 87. He goes, I would never hear.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. So I just want to know what happened to her. She had a whole bunch of children. She goes, she probably around here somewhere. And, because, it was Heidelberg, Mississippi. My dad was the last white man in Heidelberg. It's Black Mayberry. It's a country town, very religious, got a nice high school, and it's kind of like that in the 1950s, you know what I mean? They're fucking driving around in little parades and shit. Not many people in that area, though. It's like 500 people, maybe. About like that. And anyway, I noticed when I was in that store that the pickled pig's feet and the fucking eggs weren't there anymore. Like, that's out of style. I think all the customers died.
Probably.
People that ate those.
Because I don't think anybody...
They all died
that was like an old person.
That was a long time
ago.
ago.
Even back in the 80s, that was an old person.
That was an old people shit back in the 80s.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never saw any...
They didn't have them. They didn't have them anymore. So I guess they just weren't popular. The people that ate them died.
Yeah.
They had that Bluebell ice cream, though. Little 1 quart Bluebell or half little...
Okay, now I'll go to bat for Bluebell ice cream. That's good shit.
Yeah, banana pudding ice cream. And
okay, I don't like the banana pudding, but all their other flavors are good.
Yeah, they had everything. They had fucking
I don't like
banana split. That was good, too, man. Fucking Rocky Road. Butter pecan.
I'll eat some Rocky Road. Oh, and some butter pecan. Yeah. Butter pecan's one of my favorite flavors.
And it had regular chocolate vanilla strawberry.
Mint chocolate chip is probably my favorite flavor, but I think butter pecan might be.
We haven't had any Bluebell in a
top
long
five.
time. You need to get some Bluebell. That's some of the best ice creams in America. Bluebell. Really good.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
I think it's mostly in the South. I don't think it's in the North.
Yeah, I don't know if they sell it anywhere else. I mean, maybe they do. I'm not really sure.
It's real rich and it's thick. And it's a little bit expensive, but it was worth it. Shit was fucking great. Although, fucking Publix ice cream rivals it. Because they got their own creamery. They're not, Publix doesn't buy ice cream. They make their own. And it's good.
And they have like pretty much every flavor you
Every
can think
flavor.
of. And some flavors that I hadn't thought of.
And a bunch of sherbets.
That too.
Yeah. I think they have gelato and stuff, don't they?
I think they do, yeah.
A couple of those.
And they usually have good deals on them. They're
Real good
usually
deal, yeah.
like 2 for $7 or something like
Designer
that.
flavors and shit. Yeah.
But yeah, they got seasonal shit. But all their shit's good. High Desert asked if we like fruitcake. I special order fruitcakes from this monastery.
Yeah, I've had good fruitcake before.
I'm not I'm kind of ambivalent about it.
Yeah.
Like I've had good fruitcake, but it's not usually my go-to.
Yeah, most fruitcake in the United States is going to be kind of mediocre. But I had some really good shit that was expensive. And I think we were pouring brandy on it or using it to sop up orange brandy.
That's
or
a pretty
something.
common.
That shit was fucking great, man.
That's a pretty common thing to do.
Yeah.
Like I'm not averse to like spice cake type of thing, and I love carrot cake. That's one of my favorite cakes. But fruit cake, like I said, I could take it or leave it. Like I'll eat it if it's there. But a lot of fruit cake that you get over here is just not really that good. A lot of it's kind of dry, or it doesn't really have much flavor, or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think of like. I mean, pretty much all cake is good. I'll eat whatever cake you got. To be fair, I'll eat whatever pie you got. But I'm trying. I don't even know if I have a favorite cake per se. I like lemon cake. I like vanilla. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate cake. I will eat it. Don't get me wrong, but if I had the choice, I would rather lemon cake or like vanilla cake. Or when I was growing up, it's funny because I would always ask for marble cake. Like I'd always make my mom or my grandma like make me marble cake with chocolate frosting. Even though nowadays I wouldn't want chocolate frosting on it. Too much chocolate. I love chocolate, but as far as like cake, I like vanilla cake better. Like vanilla cake, vanilla icing, or kind of like a lighter whipped cream icing. I don't really like chocolate icing. It's too much. But, and like I said, I love carrot cake. Tom got me actually like a key lime pie for my birthday, actually, and that was really good. I hadn't had one in a really long time. Last year, for my birthday, I got a cake from the Publix bakery that was a cannoli cake. And it was like kind of cannoli like flavored, I guess, and then it had like cannolis on top, and holy shit, that shit was so good. Super rich, though. Super rich. You could only eat like a tiny piece. They're asking if I'm a fan of jellied eels. I've never eaten jellied eels. That doesn't.
Ah, that's terrible. I've never even touched that.
I wouldn't. That's not something I would.
Do you want me? I think I got enough booze to make
one more.
a half of one for each.
All right, that's fine. Oh, and Senior Six is asking if you've had snake and/or beer with ice in it, which they serve in Korea and Vietnam.
No, I never had that. I've eaten snake though.
Yeah.
Yeah, snake's good.
I don't think I've ever eaten snake. I've eaten alligator before, but I don't think I've ever eaten snake. Not that I remember. Haggis. Phantom says, what's Tom and Jenny's opinion on the 2006 remake of Black Christmas? In my opinion, it's just as good as the original because of Michelle. What's her name? You know what? I saw it a while back, and I remember it being okay. Like, I remember it being pretty good, but I don't really remember all that much about it. I mean, honestly, I think the original one is better, but I remember the remake being, the 2006 remake being okay. Haggis. That's another thing I'm not saying I'd never eat it, but I probably wouldn't eat it. Like, if you said you were going to give me a whole bunch of money for me to eat it, then yeah, I'd probably eat it then, but like for free, probably not. Probably not. Tammy says chocolate mayonnaise cake with peanut butter icing. I mean, they do make cake with mayonnaise, and they make chocolate cake with ketchup. That's supposedly really good. I don't think I've ever made one, but that's kind of a big thing for a while. Like back in, I think this was back in the 60s, where there was like all these recipes going around. I'm sure it was Heinz or Hunt's or whoever the fuck makes all the ketchup, and they had a recipe for chocolate cake that you put ketchup in, and people were like, "What the fuck? Like ketchup and chocolate cake?" But it does actually work.
Oh yeah, it looks real good.
Mayonnaise
makes it real moist.
Mayonnaise actually works really good. Like makes good pie crust. Also, does it not?
Yes, just mayonnaise and flour.
Mayonnaise and flour.
Just
you can make a pie crust, like a really good pie crust, like a flaky pie crust.
Yeah, just kind of mix it up into a ball, throw it in the middle of a pie plate, have it slightly oiled, very slightly, because usually the mayonnaise has enough oil in it. You want the consistency to be like any other dough. Just then use maybe the back of a glass or something. Just keep pounding it, flatten it out, run it up along the sides. Cook it with nothing in it first. Cook it for a few minutes in there. It'll come out, it'll be slightly browned looking, and then fill it and put it back in and bake it. Good, real good. It's flaky. And that's a Brazilian recipe.
Yeah.
My Brazilian maid showed me how to do that when I was in high school.
Yeah, it's literally like a 2-ingredient pie crust, and it comes out really, really good. Yep. Just mayonnaise and flour.
Mayonnaise and flour.
Because mayonnaise already got eggs and oil and all the other
eggs,
shit.
Oil, got everything you need.
Yep. Senor Stick says, what's the difference between lemon cake and yellow cake? Well, lemon cake is lemon flavored.
Yellow cake is just
vanilla. Vanilla-ish flavored.
Oh, you know what? I got those two things, the yellow cake dinner and then the bundt cake.
Oh, that's right. We never made that.
Last time I made it with one package, and it was
I told you.
Supposed to be two in there.
When we were in the store, I said you probably want to make more because a bundt cake pan is deep. Yeah. And I said that's not going to fill up that pan.
Yeah, and you just take, once the cake's done, and it's sitting upright, I got that lemon tree out there. Get the lemons off the tree, squeeze them into a bowl through a strainer so you don't get any of the seeds in it, and then just start spooning icing sugar in there until it absorbs it all and becomes a hooking like a glaze. Put that on the top of that lemon bundt cake. The lemon icing goes down the sides, man. It's fucking shit's addictive. Learned that shit about my grandmother. Yeah. Although I don't think she always used the cake mixes. I think she could make that just on her own. I forgot what she did, and I think there was lemon juice in the cake too.
Yeah. I love lemon cake. Well, like I said,
that might have been the cake that she put the 7-Up in.
Maybe so. I'm trying to think,
because it was moist. It was fucking really fucking moist.
I'm trying to remember like the cake that my grandma used to make with the 7-Up in it. I'm thinking it was like a lime cake because I think she put lime Giallo in it. Like she kind of poked holes down in the cake and poured lime Giallo down in the.
And let it set.
Yeah. So like when you cut it open, there was like a little lime.
That's some 60s shit.
I know.
60s as shit.
So there was like
60s as hell. That would probably be good if you did it right. If it was nice and pretty.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
So you get a slice out of it.
It wasn't like super flavorful, but it was just kind of like it was like a cake with like a little bit of a lime flavor. To it, which was kind of nice. I don't remember what kind of icing she put on it though. I think it was just like a regular kind of confectioner sugar and just that kind of topping. Not sure. Do you remember that one time that we made like cookies, like cookie cups, and then we baked them and then we put Nutella in there?
Yeah. Yeah, it took cookie batter. It was fucking peanut butter cookie, wasn't it? It's peanut butter cookie batter.
Was it peanut butter cookies or chocolate chip cookies? I think it was peanut butter cookies.
No, it was either peanut butter cookies or it was...
And we put them like in a cupcake.
It might have been oatmeal cookie.
Oh, maybe it was oatmeal
I think it was oatmeal
And
cookie.
we put them in like cupcake tins.
Put them in a cupcake tin and cooked them like that. Then poured Nutella in there and something else I put on the top of it. Nutella and peanut butter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was. Peanut butter and Nutella.
Holy crap, those were good.
She was good. Fan of saying that the Japanese use mayonnaise as a dipping sauce was kind of weird. It's not very weird.
It's not that weird
when you try it. The French use it for mayonnaise on French fries.
Yeah.
It's real good.
I actually like that.
But the thing is me being American, tartar sauce is better. tartar sauce and tartar sauce and French fries, especially if they're French fries that have the ruffles,
Yeah.
the crinkly French fries.
Tartar sauce.
It'll pick up that tartar sauce.
Yeah, tartar sauce.
Man, today has been the fucking food episode.
I know.
How many people we still got with us?
We've
We got
talked
enough.
We've talked about food the whole time.
Yeah.
But like I said, everybody likes food.
Yeah.
That's why we end up talking about that all the time. But yeah, I don't think it's that weird to like dip stuff in mayonnaise.
You just gotta try it.
I've dipped French fries in mayonnaise before, and I've also dipped French fries in a Wendy's Frosty before, and that is also delicious. So.
But the French love French fries and mayonnaise. I think that's their main condiment that they use for that. That's what, if memory serves. I think it was the French.
Although Victor says, I ordered pizza and breadsticks from Pizza Hut in Paris, and the dipping sauce was ketchup.
Ketchup or...
You would think that they would know better.
It wasn't marinara sauce, it was ketchup, huh?
Yeah, there's quite a significant... I mean, they're both tomato-based.
Where was that?
There's in Paris, he said.
Yeah.
There's quite a significant difference between ketchup and marinara sauce.
Now, it's my understanding, based on my own research and seeing it with my own eyes on video, is that the Japanese butcher pizza. I mean, they make things that just no pizza should be. Instead of damn tomato sauce on it, it's got octopus ink.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And all kinds of weird shit. Fucking.
Which, I mean, if that's what they want to eat, okay. But...
A Western guy fucking took a slice of that and it made his mouth black. He goes, "This is horrible. This is fucking horrible.
What are
it's
you guys
fishy as
even
fuck. It's just terrible." Yeah. They'll make pizza out of anything over there. They do have a, Italian and American style pizza. But yeah, pizza's not really an Italian thing. In Italy, pizza will be a street food and it's real basic. More like focaccia or more like a piece of flatbread with herbs and oil on it. It may not have any tomato sauce on it. It might just have some sliced tomatoes on it. It's real basic. The pizza that's known throughout the Americas, North, Central, and South America, is kind of based on a North American pizza. Although Brazil, their pizza was a little bit different, but you could see an influence of where maybe they knew about North American pizza, similar. But the world famous pizza is fucking basically a war between two cities, Chicago and New York. The basic pizza here is a New York style pizza. The deep dish is a Chicago pizza. They also had a thing called a pizza pie. It had a top crust and a bottom crust. But that was all up in the Northeast, and it was Italian Americans making that. And they were eating it first here. According to the newspapers, it was some exotic shit that only Italian gangsters ate, and they fucking, you know what I mean? You had to go to these special restaurants to go get it, and Al Capone ate it, and Al Capone, I believe, made pizza famous. Because they mentioned it a lot. They made it famous outside the Italian American community. And then pizzerias started to open up across the United States after the gangster era. But they made it famous. And I've seen the recipes and heard about what it was like. It was similar to what you'd have today in the United States. The New York pizza came out of Lombardi's, which that's still there. But it was because it was an old kiln where they were cooking pottery at one time, and they turned it into a pizzeria. And it was kind of a flat pizza, flatbread type pizza. It didn't rise like a deep dish. It wasn't cooked the same way. It wasn't cooked in cast iron or anything. Just right on a fucking stone. Hot, super hot stone. 600 degrees maybe, only for a few minutes. Just come right. And it was just sliced tomato sauce maybe, mozzarella cheese, oregano leaves maybe, and some basil leaves on it. Real simple.
Victor says, I think street pizza was better in New York City than it was in Rome.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, I've been in New York City many times. I ate other things other than pizza, but I ate a lot of pizza there too, and the pizza there is no joke. They really do have really good pizza.
During the time the Italians came to North America, Italy was fucked up. It was really poor.
Gotta pee.
And those guys came here and they saw all this fucking plentiful food up in New York and Chicago. So they kind of redid their recipes to include what you could make. So it was like Italian American food was like the 1920s fantasy food for an Italian. All these thick, rich tomato sauces, the way American Italian food is. Back in Italy, only like nobody had that. They had like thinned out. You know, the pasta didn't have a big pile of fucking dark red sauce and meat. Their pasta would just be kind of red. They just fucking put some sauce on it a little bit, like a tablespoon, and mix it all throughout the. So, Italian American food was about showing your wealth, how much you had. They were foodies, you know, their food culture just like in the South. Like in the South, you know, so the more food you had, the more wealthy you were, the more power you had, the more you're feeding your family and shit. The richer that sauce was, the better that the more fucking sausage you had on things, and the more, you know, the better. So they're just kind of putting Italian food on steroids. But you go to real Italy, go back to Italy, the food's a lot more plain. And it's still good. It's just different. It's more heavier, probably in herbs and olive oil. Not so much in big, thick tomato sauces, you know. And a lot of seafood. Italians in Italy fucking love seafood. Fucking.
Me too.
Fucking squid, little octopus, and they have that in the fucking pasta. Olives, herbs. You know. Big old piece of salted fish, recooked salted fish. And we had that in Brazil too. It's called bacalhau. I don't know what they call it in Italy though. Lots of fish dishes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, not even talking about pizza, but some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my whole life was in New York City. And I don't even remember the name of the restaurant. It was a tiny place. It was like the size of a fucking walk-in closet.
Yeah.
It was like 4 tables.
Yeah.
Legit. And it's like, I think I had... It was some kind of linguine dish. I don't even remember what it was. It had meat in it too, but I don't remember what it was. And holy shit. And they made the pasta in-house.
Yeah.
It was fresh, and it was like, oh my god, it was so good.
Boston was the same way. They had Italian restaurants there that were just old school. And you went in there, table service and everything, you know what I mean? You're like, man, it was kind of, you know, you could tell those places were old. They were put together a lot in the 70s, you know what I mean? But they were like traditional, family owned, you know. You see guys in there, you know, Italian guys, you know, especially old guys, they all want to look like they're in the mafia, you know what I mean? At least pretend they're in the mafia or something, you know. Tough guys. But the food was real good. It was different though. It was like fucking... The pizza wasn't very thick. It was kind of thin. It didn't have a whole lot of cheese on it. It had cheese, but not a whole lot. And it wasn't real fancy. It was simple. But everything was good. You know?
I kind of like that better, though, because I kind of feel like sometimes when you get pizza... You know, I'm not shitting on Domino's or Papa John's or anything like that, but it's like sometimes they put too much stuff on the pizza. Like the meat lovers, and look, I love meat as much as the next person, but I don't need 40,000 meats piled on the pizza. It's too many flavors competing. You know, I would rather just have like a couple of things.
I think I remember at that restaurant, there was also a lot of seafood, so they were going with that too. But it was just, you know, pasta, dishes, there'd probably be some lasagna, pizza. It's funny because like they had a lot of people buying pizza, but if you look at the pizza section, it was kind of small on the menu. Remember that? Yeah, I mean most of it was other things. It was
other
like
things,
what size pizza you want? What do you want on it? Type of deal. And they might have like 6 or 7 different things that they could put on it. So it was like that.
Yeah, I mean if I'm going to go to an Italian restaurant, I'm probably not going to have pizza.
Yeah,
because you can get pizza anywhere.
We would get a pizza and eat a plate. Because, you know what I mean? The pizza would be divided up.
Right.
You know, everybody get a couple slices of that, but then you had the plate that you had.
Yeah.
Because you weren't eating alone. You were eating with like 3 or 4 other people.
Right. So you could like get a bunch of things.
Yeah, and a slice of pizza didn't have a whole lot of mass in Boston. It was kind of thin. So you could eat 3 slices of it and it didn't fill you up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, And they weren't that expensive back then, you know what I mean? Like a large pizza, maybe $11. You know what I mean? It's not wasn't like a $20 pizza or anything. And then like the dishes were probably about, you know, this is in the mid 90s, late 90s, 97 around that time, and 96 maybe. I remember a dish was probably about $12. So you know what I mean? Pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Phantom says, I'd rather eat Domino's cheesy bread over their pizza. Pizza Hut's pizza is better than Domino's. I haven't had really, like, we have a Domino's close to us. So I think Domino's is the last, like, kind of takeout pizza that we've eaten recently. Because we don't usually get it. Because if we're going to eat pizza, Tom will make it.
Yeah.
Because your pizza is, like, a million times better.
Yeah.
But if we're being lazy... And honestly, if I'm going to order from Domino's, I usually get a sandwich. Like I usually
Domino's
get.
crust sucks. There's just no way around it.
Honestly, of all of the three main, I kind of like Papa John's.
Papa John's would be the best one, yeah.
Better. I haven't had that in a long time. I just think because their sauce is a little bit sweeter, which I tend to like, because if you have a sauce that's too acidic, like I said, it gives me heartburn. Pizza Hut's pizza always used to give me heartburn. Domino's does too, but Papa John's usually.
They had a chain in Boston called Pizzeria Uno.
Yeah, we had that here.
Yeah. I would eat there, but this shit was too fancy. There was too much. It's too much. You know what I mean? Too much fucking.
Well, that was Chicago style.
Yeah, it was too much fucking. What do you call it? Too much dough. You know what I mean? Too much crust.
Yeah, like I said, it was Chicago style.
The crust
so it's like
on top and the
it's
bottom.
like a deep dish.
Yeah, and
I ate there a few times.
And you're tempted to fucking get everything on the damn pizza, and it shows up, and you're like, man, this would have been better if it was just like black olives and pepperoni. It'd probably be better.
Like I said, I kind of like pizza with just like a couple
things on it. Yeah.
Like,
man, we were good getting the shit with broccoli on it and this and that, just whatever. Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes you get, because we got this before. Like I said, we went to Mellow Mushroom, and the first time we went there, they have a pizza. I can't remember what the name of the pizza is, but it has like a bunch of shit on it.
So side quest.
Like a bunch of different meat and a bunch of different vegetables and stuff. And I was like, well, that sounds pretty good. It sounded like something we would both like. So we got it, and it was really good, but I was like, man, there's just too much stuff.
Yeah.
Too many stuff. There's too many stuff on that pizza.
Side quest is talking about fucking round table. She lives in California, hadn't been to a round table in a long
I don't
fucking
think we
time.
have those here. I've heard of it, but
back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, round table was probably better than it is even now today. They used real buffalo mozzarella cheese, and the shit was fucking thick. Like a half-inch of cheese on it. You'd pull a fucking slice off of it, and the shit would fucking stretch out across the damn table. You're like that. You're using fucking... That shit was really good. And they were big, man. Big, heavy pizzas. My Aunt Lois and Red and fucking used to take me and Wesley there all the time. They had fucking video games. They had Battle Zone. Remember the tank game? And fucking Missile Command. And a fucking Miss Pac-Man. Fucking... Wesley would get on Missile Command and stay on Missile Command for about an hour and a half for one game. He could play it just with that trackball. He was fucking great at that. He was like a master at fucking Missile Command. And that shit was getting fast, so fast, I don't think it got any faster. It just stayed at a certain speed. Eventually it would break him down. I think after about an hour on 1/4. And I couldn't last but like 3 levels on fucking Missile Command. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember fucking round tables. That was one of the best pizza places I'd ever been to out in California. But like I said, that was honky pizza. That was fucking white people pizza. It's not like fucking... The Italians didn't make it like that. But as far as just like mainstream pizza, yeah, that shit was good. Another one that used to be really good out in California when I was a kid was the pizza that you got at the old original Chuck E. Cheese's. That fucking pizza was great. It's not any good now, you know what I mean? I think that's a little kid's place now, but it used to be Chuck E. Cheese's was filled with fucking teenagers and people in their 20s. And it was an arcade. Fucking had all the badass games, Joust. Fucking all the new games were there. And they sold pizza there, man. The pizza was fucking great. Had cornmeal on the bottom of the fucking pizza when it came out. It was just cooked perfectly. It was real fucking... comes hot right out of the oven. And it was like a party in there. That's how busy it was. What ended up happening is drugs took over. Drug dealers started going in there. and they shut it down. They changed it to where it was like for kids only, and you had to fucking only adults with their kids. They turned it into like a kid's place, and then once they did that, they dumbed the food down to where the pizza was like
kids will eat anything.
Yeah, they dumbed it. The pizza was like something out of like frozen pizza, you know,
including their own.
Just like that. Yeah.
So like, yeah, why spend money like making the pizza good? Because kids will just eat anything.
Little kids didn't give a shit, and the parents didn't give a shit either.
Yeah, they're just like the parents were probably just like, I'm getting a migraine from all of the noise in here and like chasing these.
It was just someplace where a woman could take her kid and let the kid go.
Well, it's like birthday parties and
like
shit.
Birthday parties,
well, it's what you know. What's weird? I didn't even know that Chuck E. Cheese still existed until we were at the movies like a couple months ago, and we saw an ad for Chuck E. Cheese like in the movie theater, and I was like, "Wait, what? Like that's still around?" And so I Googled it on my phone.
There's still a thing.
And there's like still a whole bunch of locations. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, you don't want anything out of there, man. The food sucks. Yeah.
I mean, I would never go there.
No.
I just thought it was like kind of interesting because I thought they had gone out of business like long ago, but I guess not.
Yeah, she's talking about Costco pizza. Hey man, fucking Sam's pizza, not bad.
And shit, man, it's cheap.
It's cheap, yeah. It's like $1.50 a slice.
Well, I don't. Yeah, it might be that, but I know they have that deal because doesn't Sam's and Costco have the deal where you like for $1.50 for like a hot dog and a drink or something like that?
Yeah.
Like so, a lot of people like their fucking food court is always packed in that fucking place.
Yeah, she says, it's too bad about Chuck E. Cheese's. Now it's cardboard pizza. Yeah, it's fucking,
Well, like I said, they thought, well, why spend money on making decent pizza because no one cares.
It's just going to be little kids,
Like, everyone's just coming here for birthday parties and, like, to play the games and stuff. It's like nobody gives a shit about the food.
Yeah, the original Chuck E. Cheese pizza in the California location, because I think there was only one of them at the time that I would go there. The fucking Go-Go's would go there. Isn't that funny? I think one of their videos, I think they did a video where they're outside of it, I think. Maybe I made this video. Go-Go's would go there. The pizza was, I would say, on par or better than Round Table. It was a little bit different than Round Table, but similar. I'm talking about old Round Table. I haven't had new Round Table in a long time.
Yeah, we don't have them here.
I can't imagine that late 70s, early 80s Round Table would be the same as today because, man, they use real buffalo mozzarella cheese. Real fucking stretchy. Today, that would be like a $40 pizza, maybe a $50 pizza. That's what they would want to charge you for it. They were huge. And they were fucking fat. And it was all cheese. I mean, it was a heart attack, waiting to happen, They were great, though. Big old fucking crust going around the side of it.
That was a lot of money back then. Well, like I said,
back then they were probably only $20.
Oh. Well, I was going to say...
But today they'd be like $40, $50 for a pizza like that.
Well, even nowadays, like at Mellow Mushroom, like the pizza we get is like $28.
Yeah, but in the late 70s, early 80s, $20 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it would feed 5 people.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can't even eat all that whole pizza that we get. That's like a big, huge pizza. But... Yeah, SideQuest here says Sam's is just Costco pizza, but slightly different. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I've had Sam's pizza a couple times. We don't have a Costco near us. We do have a Sam's, though. Yeah. And we have a Sam's membership.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's real basic.
It's pretty good. It's just, for basic pizza.
Yeah.
But like I said, whenever we don't usually get pizza other than Mellow Mushroom and we'll go there and eat.
Yeah.
But... Because Tom makes pizza.
And if I go over there, if I'm going over there, I'm not gonna eat there because right next to there is fucking Fifth Element, the fucking India buffet. I'm gonna go there. It's right next to our Sam's.
To Sam's, yeah.
So there's no sense in going all the way over there just to get that pizza.
Like you said, I mean, you can make a million times better pizza at home.
When I got the right flour and time, the crust has to be aged. You want at least 24 hours. And then I got to get my pizza stone nice and hot, and you want to cook it in my fucking oven. Too bad I don't have a gas oven. I'm going to convert this bitch out to a gas. Be a lot bit easier, a lot better. I could cook it out on the grill, on the gas grill.
Yeah, you've done that a couple times.
I've done it a couple times. Yeah, I forgot about that. Get that stone super hot. Put it on there and just cover it.
But, it's... Like I said, even with the closest thing, I don't even know where the closest Pizza Hut or Papa John's is around here. We have a Domino's right up the street that's by the Publix. I've ordered from there before, but if I order from there, I don't ever get pizza. Like I said, I usually just get one of their like subs.
Yeah.
You know, like their fucking veggie sub, or I'll get a pasta dish or something. I don't usually get pizza from there. Their pizza's okay. It's just not great. Like, it's adequate.
Yeah.
It's adequate pizza. But it's not like delicious pizza. Victor says Pizza Hut is always my go-to, probably because my hometown only had a Pizza Hut. Yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know. I don't eat a lot of the big chains pizza. So I kind of feel like, I always thought it was like Papa John's was the best one, at least in my opinion, and then Pizza Hut, and then Domino's. And then like way down below was like Little Caesars. I never liked Little Caesars. Maybe it's better. I haven't eaten there since probably high school, which was a very long time ago. So maybe they've upped their game. I don't really know. But I always remember it tasting like super, super cheap. Like worse than frozen pizza. But maybe it's better. What's that place? It's a chain that has the fucking like pizza buffet kind of thing. What the fuck is the name of that? Didn't somebody say it earlier? It's not Chi-Chi's. That's Mexican. What the fuck's the name of it? I don't remember. But yeah, it was like, so I ate there a couple times, and that, like I said, the pizzas, even bad pizza is still pretty good. Like I said, it's adequate. But there is definitely a hierarchy of pizza, though. Honestly, I think Papa John's is best. Just, I like their sauce better. As far as all the sauces go, because there is like a pretty distinctive difference to me, like between all the sauces. And I find that Pizza Hut sauces is or it used to be. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't compared in a long time. Their sauce seemed to like give me heartburn the worst. Pizza Hut's did. And Domino's was the second heartburniest.
Victor brings up Cece's pizza. God, that's just terrible.
That's what that's what I was saying. It was Cece's, not Chi-Chi's. That's the Mexican place. Cece's, that's what it was. That's what, yeah, because I brought that up. I was talking about. I was like, what's that pizza buffet place?
Yeah.
I went there a couple times, not on my own volition. When I was with other people. Yeah, you just end up there.
You kind of end up there.
You just end up there.
It's bad. It's bad. You get filled quick too because it's all dough. It's all crust. And the toppings are fucking shitty. They're just real... At least they were. I don't know. I haven't been there in forever. I think last time I was there was probably like... didn't they have one next to Korea House? That we went to one time and we're like, this is terrible.
I don't remember if we ever went to a CC's together. I remember we went to Korea House a couple of times. I remember that.
I think there's a CC's next to that, and I think we went in there.
I remember going to CC's once with my brother.
Yeah, maybe I went in there on alone one time.
Maybe we went one time. Maybe we did.
I think we did.
Yeah, maybe we
because it was cheap.
Yeah,
it was true. Like I think we were going to go to Korea House
cheap for a reason.
Yeah, I think we were going to go to Korea House. And it was closed.
Yeah,
and
CC
was
maybe
and
that, okay.
And I think it was like fucking $8.99 all you could eat, or some shit like that on the window.
Unfortunately,
on the
you won't want it.
Yeah, you won't want it.
That's how they get away with it.
The dessert pizza is just a crust with the fucking with like blueberry,
like chocolate sauce.
Yeah, chocolate sauce or blueberry fucking pie filling.
Oreo crumbles.
Yeah,
or blueberry pie.
Blueberry pie filling with damn.
They're like, here you go, plebes. Just eat this.
Yeah, it looks like maybe like coffee creamer mixed with water, and then they fucking make a paste and put that on top of the fucking pizza and cook it. Remember? It comes out. It's like the baked. Yeah, it's weird, man. Really cheap cheese.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get the good. You got to get the good cheese if you're gonna make fucking pizza. Got to get the expensive.
Yeah,
shit.
If you don't have fucking mozzarella cheese, real buffalo mozzarella cheese.
None of that partial skim stuff.
None of that partial skim shit.
I mean, that stuff it's okay, but it's not as good.
No,
it's not as good as.
I was getting the whole milk mozzarella from Sam's. It used to be really good. Then the quality fucking steadily went down, and I noticed that the old mozzarella that they would sell me that I thought was good would go bad quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start seeing mold in there. You go, oh well, that's got to go. Usually I would be like 3/4 of the way through it. Now the shit that I have now never goes bad, and it tastes like shit. So they changed it.
Well, yeah, it's all kind of
Yeah, when it
preservatives.
melts, it doesn't stretch or anything. It just like it's like fucking Elmer's glue, you know, like hot Elmer's glue. It's just like a fucking hot, heavy mayonnaise or something. It's just like it's got a fucking, what's the fucking texture that I'm looking for? Mushy. It's got a real mushy texture. It's just not. That's not right. Got to start making my own mozzarella in the Instapot.
Yeah, you probably should.
It's just that there's shit you got to do, and you got to strain it. You got to pull stuff. I got to do more research on it.
You probably.
I think I might need some kind of bacteria.
I mean, it might end up being cheaper in the long run, though.
Be better.
I mean, the thing about it was that the stuff we used to get at Sam's, you used to get 2 little cakes,
Yeah.
like 2 little loaves,
For like $7-8.
and it was like $8, I think.
Yeah.
So you could make maybe 1 or 2 pizzas with that.
Yeah.
So kind of expensive, but it was really good. It was worth it. I don't know how much it is now.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Gilda goes, natural dairy spoils quickly. So yeah, so what it is,
does,
they changed something with it. It says whole milk mozzarella, and it's already pre-shredded. But it doesn't cook like whole milk mozzarella. It doesn't get stretchy or thick, or you know what I mean. Where normally a good mozzarella cheese, good pizza cheese, you bite it and it just like stretches. That's what you want.
Yeah, you want that super stretchy
Yeah.
cheese.
Real chewy.
Super stretchy. Yeah, you want it to have some fucking bite
Yeah.
to it. Mountain Mike's. That's another pizza. I
Yeah.
never heard of that place, actually. We don't have any of them here.
All right, we've been fucking talking about food for too long. We're gonna fucking get off this subject and tell a story that happened a couple days back.
Uh-oh.
Paranormal story.
Is it really?
Yeah, you remember it?
Do I?
Yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay. I know.
You remember now, right?
I forgot for a second. I was like, well, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, yeah.
I was having this fucking weird dream that I couldn't remember. I woke up from it, and as I woke up, the fucking the fire alarm in the corner of our room chirped once, and it woke up Jen, and she goes, "Oh fuck," and I go, "I was having a dream." She goes, "I thought you were," and then I tried to go back to
I
sleep.
knew exactly what that was.
Yeah. I tried to go back to sleep and it was scaring me. I was starting to get fucking weirded out by that. Because it's only happened a couple times and it's always something important. And as I was trying to go off to sleep and I was like trying to shake that weird feeling of being watched, it chirped again. And she was like, fuck. And I said, I know.
I was like, are you going to keep me up all night with this?
Yeah. Last time it happened was it started chirping and it chirped 3 or 4 times. And I said, something's wrong. Remember that? I told you that. I said, something's wrong. And I called my dad. My dad was dying.
Now, that time, it's not a chirp because when the battery's dying, it makes like a little beep.
Beep. Yeah, it's not that.
Beep. It's not that. It's when it goes off like
there's smoke.
Like, yeah. Like, for example, if you burn something in the oven and it sets it off, it does that, but it only does it 2 times. Beep, beep, and then stops.
And then stops.
For like a long time. Now, when your dad was dying, the one in our bedroom went off 2 times like that, and then the one in the hall went off.
Went off a couple times.
There's not one in here. It's broken. The one in the hall went off 2 times.
Yeah, and it was like beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Yeah, and when
there was a pause in between them, and I think and I looked at it again, and when it did it in our room again a couple times. Beep, 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 beep. And I said,
and the
something's
cats
wrong.
were like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
What is
and I
that
said,
noise?
something's wrong. I had a weird feeling coming over me. Yeah. And I called my dad the next morning, because it was nighttime, wasn't it?
Yeah, the next morning.
He was admitted to the hospital.
Yeah.
The day that shit was going on. And I could tell over the phone while he was talking, he was dying.
Yeah, Phantom saying could be wanting you to change the battery. No, it's a totally different noise.
It's not that noise. It's the alarm noise.
It's the alarm noise. It's not the battery noise. And honestly, we just changed that battery like a couple months ago.
When that shit happened, and we didn't change any battery. It hasn't done it again. Didn't change battery after that shit happened with my dad's. You know, that was about a year ago now. So it's not low battery.
That's a different noise.
Yeah.
I know what noise it makes when the battery's dead.
It's just fucking one of the things that fucking happens to me.
But see, that's what I was thinking. The first thing I thought, isn't this funny? The first thing I thought when that went off, and it woke me up, and it just went off 2 times.
Yeah.
And then stopped. I thought Tom is having a nightmare,
Yeah.
or he's having a premonition that somebody died.
Yeah. I was having a nightmare, but as soon as I woke up, I couldn't remember it. I couldn't remember. It vanished him instantly. I remembered it for like half a second, but then it vanished, and I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah. See, that's why they always tell you to write shit down. Like,
Yeah,
as soon as
but
you
it happened instantly. You know, my mind was somewhere. I was having a dream that something wasn't going right, and it was bothering me. I don't remember what it was though. But yeah, it's RSPK.
Yeah, I wonder what it was.
You know, when I was a kid, it was even better. Used to throw things and shit. It hasn't thrown anything in about how many years now? Well, there was some other stuff. I saw it drop some stuff. It dropped a fucking balled up sock right in front of my face. I was looking at the television. I looked towards the television and saw a sock just fall out of nowhere. I didn't see where it came from. It just fell into my field of vision. That was weird. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Man, remember that weird ass dream I had the other day that I told you about?
I don't really remember.
The one about my ex-husband and like the fucking
I don't remember you telling me about
the
that.
trip to Tennessee.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I told you like in
Yeah?
detail. Yeah.
What'd you do when you got there? What
No,
happened?
It's too long of
Okay.
It's too long of a
All
thing.
right. I would probably remember if you gave me some more detail.
Like I don't know.
I remember you telling me.
I don't know why I bothered telling you anything. He doesn't remember anything.
Tammy says I was getting pegged by Bigfoot. Bigfoot wearing a Boy Scout uniform.
Yeah.
That
Did you guys see that picture that I posted of Bigfoot in the Boy Scout uniform? I put it on the Facebook page and on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Like yesterday. Like I AI'd that shit. I had to AI it a few times. Like I couldn't get exactly what I wanted, but then finally I saw that one. I was like, "That's it. That's the one. That's the one." I was gonna do a cow one too, but I forgot about it. Like with the cow thing. Did you see it? You didn't see it?
What's that?
I thought you were looking for it.
Oh.
No, I said I posted a picture
No, I didn't see it.
of Bigfoot in a Boy Scout
but-
uniform
Yeah, AI came up with it.
on the Facebook page.
Did it look good?
Yeah. Like I said, I had to do it a couple times, like to get what I wanted, because
Right.
sometimes it was like too cartoony,
Right.
and I was like, I want it to look kind of realistic.
Yeah.
Like you can tell it cartoon style, which I didn't. But if you
Yeah.
don't tell it any style, then it
Yeah.
doesn't really know what to do.
For
so
those
it
of you
comes
who
up
don't
with-
know what we're talking about, I was on the last show on Wednesday. There was a case. We were doing these disappearances with people
missing 411.
missing 411 people in these national parks, and these Boy Scout. And a Boy Scout disappeared, and I said, "Maybe Bigfoot got him." And I said, "Yeah, Bigfoot." Where he turns around, and Bigfoot's sitting there in a Boy Scout uniform. I went, "Come on, little boy."
Yeah.
You know, that kind of shit. He's fucking. I don't think it's what happened though. I think I think a man got him.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
But it's still funny to like think about. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not funny that the kid
Yeah.
might have got abducted, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Pedo Bigfoot
It's-
in his fucking Boy Scout uniform trying to insinuate
And
I'm a child like you.
Hello, fellow child.
Hello, fellow child.
But
I'm not Harry.
Yeah. But and I'm not 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that some of y'all said it's like, oh, you're like popping a boner like through the uniform.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
the AI is not gonna let me do that. Well, the I use the Microsoft image generator.
Yeah.
And you can generate as many images as you want, like up to a point, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just like ChatGPT. If you ask it to do certain things, it won't do them. You know what I mean? Like if it thinks that it's going to be like not safe for work or is too scary or something like that, like it won't do it. So you have to like word it in a way. So it's not going to let me do a Bigfoot with a boner. I'm just
They have
saying.
some. They
My other, and now the AI that I pay for
Yeah.
might have done, but
They got some porn AI.
they do, yeah. You have to like go through. But like I said, the free shit
Yeah.
they use, it's not gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
Just like it's not gonna let you do copyrighted shit. But I do have one that I pay a little bit for, an app, and that one you can usually get away with copyrighted stuff to an
Yeah.
extent.
You
But
can-
if you try to make it do porny stuff, it won't. But it has another thing that it'll lead you to that'll let you do porny stuff.
There's a guy on Instagram who's got his whole channel is doing AI photographs of like hot, mature women. That's his whole fetish. And when you see those fucking photographs, they look like a real fucking photograph. I mean, they look real. It takes me a second to go like, no, that can't be real. The proportions are fucking supernatural proportions on some of these women because they're not real. They're more like a drawing, but it looks real. It's amazing what those computers can do.
Yeah.
And they were just like highly idealized of women photographs. They're not photographs, it's just an image. It looks like a photograph. Highly idealized images of women in their 50s and 60s. And then the 60s ones, you know, no woman in their 60s really looks like that, look that good. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of amazing what a computer can do. Because it looks real when you first see it.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it can't be.
Well, some people get fooled by that stuff.
What's that?
Some people get fooled by that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it is really good. Some of it's really good. Although, like I said, I generate AI images a lot, like for various things, like for ads that I do for clients and stuff. Like if they want a specific thing, and you know nobody has time to draw that, so it's like I'll generate them. There are some tells. AI is not perfect, and you have to really
wrong number of fingers. Or
it has a hard time with people still. Like if you're just doing like a face and stuff like that, it usually comes out pretty good and it looks like a real thing. But if you're trying to like have a person like doing something specific, you're gonna get all kind of weird shit. Yeah, like extra limbs.
The Instagram account that I'm talking about,
a person growing out of another person. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like
the Instagram account I'm talking about. Pretty much all the photos are either like beach bikini type shots or something out of like a model. Like something out of like a fashion magazine. They all look like that, and that's probably because you're limited in what you can do and get it to look realistic.
Well, and you can, like I said, you can generate, because the one that I use, it generates 4 images. You put in a prompt and it generates 4 images at a time,
and then you pick,
and then you can pick the one you want. And if it's not right, then you just tell it to generate another set, and then so you can like narrow it down. And like I said, sometimes because you know I was doing some stuff for one of my clients where they wanted some Halloween stuff, and they're like, we want like cute, you know, Halloween monsters, like witches or whatever, like in front of this car or whatever. So I like AI'd that, and like when I got one that was close enough, then I would take it in Photoshop and fuck around with it, like take out extra fingers or, you know, change certain things that could be. I just wanted one that was like close enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, another thing that's fucking weird is you can't trust any image, even if it's video, because I saw a YouTube video somebody had made. They compiled all this stuff where you see a video of, I don't know, some, you know, Chinese girl walking, and you're looking at her proportions and you're like, man, that's fucking crazy. Her legs are too long. And then fucking it shows it without the filter, and it's just like a very average looking woman walking. Or they had one where they showed a woman who was a real famous, I don't know if it was a streamer. It was a chick that was streaming in China and singing and doing a little show. And you see her video, and she looks like she's about 20. And to me, I thought her chin looked a little bit too pointed, you know. But she's kind of like an idealized Chinese-looking girl. Then they show her without the filters, man, and she's like middle-aged and chubby. Those filters can fucking...
They got some good-ass filters.
That can absolutely change. I mean, they had one where they showed this beautiful Japanese chick riding these motorcycles, and you turned out without the filters it was actually a 50-year-old Japanese dude. And he says, well, nobody would pay attention to me if I, you know, didn't take the image of a cute girl, but he was just he was just trying to get a bunch of hits.
Right.
So you can't really trust anything anymore when it comes to images on the computer.
I like fucking around with AI, but honestly, if I don't post a lot of selfie pictures or anything like that, but whenever I do, I don't fuck with them. Mm-hmm. Like, usually I'll take a few pictures of them and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good. I might like adjust the contrast or something, but that's about it. I don't put any filters on them or nothing.
Yeah, it's like, it's
like, hey
amazing,
man, that's what I look like.
Totally change what somebody looks like through those filters.
Yeah. Like, to me, that just seems like a weird thing to do, but
evidently the biggest the biggest perpetrators of that is in Asia, East Asia. The Chinese girls. They're the ones that are using the most filters. And like they're saying, like everybody uses them. Everybody. They either don't have, like on any of their profiles, they either don't have a profile photo. It'll be like instead of a profile photo of them, it'll be like a plate of food. Okay. Or there'll be a profile photo, but that's not really them. It's a fucking highly filtered version of them.
Right.
You know, and and what they think is attractive looks like an ET to me. You know what I mean? The Chinese people don't look like that. Real super pointed chins, big eyes. They look like a gray. You know what I mean? Like an alien gray, kind of with hair.
Which, like I said, it's kind of like, look, people can put up whatever they want. But I'm just kind of saying that if you're going to, I mean, if your end game is, like if you're on a dating site or something like that, and your end game is like you're going to meet a person in real life, I don't really see what the point is of putting up a bunch of like highly filtered photos. Because like, well, if your end game is to meet this person in real life, they're going to see what you look like. So it's like you might as well, I mean, obviously put up a good flattering picture of you. Duh. But like, you know, everyone does that. But don't put up something that doesn't even look like you. That seems counterproductive.
The explanation I heard is that in those cultures, they're real shy. They actually don't want to appear at all. So if they do put a picture of them up, it's going to be highly filtered. It's basically going to be an avatar that they've created that kind of looks like them.
Well, I get that. If they're
that's what they're doing. And they have no intention of meeting anybody.
Okay, well then that's fair enough.
No. But then what they'll do is some of these girls will do that and then realize that they can get rich streaming. And then they'll have like 30 or 40 of them fucking underneath a bridge in the middle of the rain, all trying to stream. They almost kind of look like they're homeless, with fake backdrops behind them. There'll be 30 of them right underneath that bridge, all fucking streaming to these dudes, trying to get fucking basically kind of like a super chat.
Sure.
And that's their job. And you look at them and they're just very average or below average, looking for a Chinese girl.
Hey,
but then you look at the image that they're putting out on the fucking screen. She's like she's fucking, super, like a model, like a supermodel. But that's not who that is. And I don't know if these Chinese dudes know. I would think that they would know.
I mean, in this day and age.
Yeah, you would think in this day and age they would all know.
Like I said, it's kind of different because for that, you're just selling a fantasy, right? I mean, it's just kind of like people watching porn. I'm like, obviously most people know that that's not real. So I kind of don't have as much of a problem with it. Like I said, I kind of feel like you're just selling a fantasy to somebody. If they want to pay for it, then that's on them. I mean, everyone's adults. It's fine. Like I said, the only reason, the only problem that I would have with it is that if you were like on a dating site, for example, and it's like the end game would be, you're going to meet this person in real life, and it's just like, I don't really see the point of putting up pictures that don't look like you. Yeah, you're catfishing. Because they're, if you are going to meet a person in real life, they're obviously going to see what you really look like. So you might as well just like put up a picture of what you look like. Like I said, put up a good picture. What?
You're gonna fucking...
No, I'm not.
It'll sit there and it'll foam. You'll lose all your carbonation.
It was gonna be fine. It was gonna be fine. Tammy says we should make a T-shirt out of that Bigfoot image.
Who would wear it though?
It did come out. I
You'll walk around with a big pedo Bigfoot on your fucking...
He didn't look like a pedo. He just looked like a Bigfoot with a Boy Scout uniform on. The prompt that I used was a shifty-looking Bigfoot wearing a Boy Scout uniform that's too small for him. That was the prompt that I used. Yeah. Like I said, I generated like 8 or 9 different ones, and like some of them were good, like, but some of them were like too cartoony or like looked too. I wanted one that looked sort of realistic. You know what I mean? But when I saw that one, I was like, oh, that's the one.
Golden Age Phoenix going, how dare you?
Yeah.
Christopher Walken and the Electrolux vacuum cleaner hose coming out of the central system, coming out of the wall, going up in his booty.
Right into his booty.
Just to suck something out of there, because aliens always want to know what's up in your booty. Doesn't make any sense.
Do they want your poop?
Yeah, that's the funny thing, man. Look, I was there when those stories started to appear. I'm sure you were too. I was living in Boston at the time when that fucking book came out from that Harvard professor that was saying this is a real phenomenon, but he meant these people really are crazy. That's what he meant. He just
Yeah, he didn't. People misinterpreted what he said.
Right. Yeah, he's saying these people really are
He didn't
experiencing
say
this.
He didn't say that people were actually getting kidnapped by aliens.
Right,
he
yeah.
said this is a real phenomenon that people are imagining that they get kidnapped by aliens. That's what he was saying.
What was it called? Communion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whitley Strieber,
Strieber.
who also wrote The Hunger,
Yeah.
the book that the awesome movie was based
But
on.
what was the book that the Harvard University professor wrote? There was another one that was like that, and I think that inspired Communion or something.
I don't
They were kind of
remember.
related to that. Anyway, I remember at the time hearing all that, and for some reason, because it was the very, very beginning of the internet, you know, it was like fucking, 95, 96? I just started hearing about people doing internet stuff. We were kind of low information back then. And I would hear these stories about, these aliens putting things up in your ass and taking samples from you, and taking semen samples and weird shit like that, doing like kind of sexual stuff. And for some reason, man, back in those days, I would be like, wow, maybe they really are.
Sounds like,
maybe they really are.
Some hot alien chick will come down and take my semen sample.
Maybe they really are fucking sticking things up people's asses and fucking sucking stuff out of them.
He's like,
I didn't have what it took to fucking really question it that much. You know what I mean? Like, only thing I could come was like, maybe they're breeding people on other planets. You know, they take the semen sample, they fucking breed them. But you wouldn't have to do it that way. They would have all kinds of breeding stock over there already. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to go back to the planet Earth to get more semen. Yeah, you know what I mean? And here's the thing.
If they could travel like fucking intergalactic, they could make their own fucking human semen.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're probably making them on their
complicated.
planet with DNA. And then another, it's just, but
Why would they need to do that?
that hadn't really dawned on us yet. That's kind of going out of their way.
Speak for yourself, Tom.
Well, the thing is that, okay, fucking, a bunch of people were saying this kind of stuff. You kind of had the feeling, even today, you got the government saying, oh yeah, that's a real phenomenon, this fucking UFO type stuff. The Navy and shit involved. They're seeing stuff. They don't know what it is, though. Or they claim. Other people say, oh no, they got recovered material. I think it's something called Project Blue Beam, I think is what it's called, or I think it's a CIA thing where they're just trying to distract people from other problems that they're having. Oh yeah, we got UFOs, by the way. But it doesn't work anymore because people don't watch news. They don't watch network news. They don't care about UFOs. You could probably show a fucking UFO. It's like, yeah, this is our UFO. And people go, yeah, okay, big fucking deal. That's probably the way people would react to that nowadays.
Well, there's so much other
shit
stuff going on that it's like everyone's attention is like super divided.
Yeah, so I think they go, yeah, fuck that.
You can't get like too hyped about one thing.
No.
Because there's too much.
But you kind of could back then. You had limited media.
Well, yeah, I think that's
limited
what it was.
amount of information.
Like nowadays, like, you know, hey, that's a neat thing, and then like an hour later, some other neat thing happens. You know.
So I was just kind of, my thinking was very 90s or 80s at the time. I was like, yeah, maybe they do come here and they take samples from us for some reason, you know, something I can't imagine. You know, with Whitley Strieber's talking about it. You know what I mean? But when you see that shit, on the screen and what he's talking about, it's ridiculous. You go, why would aliens do that? Dancing.
That's some dude's like weird ass sexual fantasy.
Yeah,
What that is. I kind of feel like a lot of the alien abduction stories are just people's weird ass sexual fantasies.
Yeah.
That they don't realize are sexual fantasies.
All aliens would need, if they have sufficient technology to get here, across the gulf of space. So I guess if they're biological, then that means that they're going faster than the speed of light, or teleporting somehow, going through a wormhole. If they had that type of technology, all they would need is one drop of blood from a human. They would know everything about humans. They'd be able to make them after that.
If they wanted to.
Just by getting their hands on one piece of DNA. They go, okay, we can make humans. We understand all this. That's what they would do. They'd just have, an AI program go through there and go, yeah, we know what all this makes.
Let's make two of them and make them fight.
Yeah. We'll make them different.
We'll keep them in cages.
Then you start doing shit like what the Harkonnens were doing in Dune, making a human in the shape of a spider.
That does sound like an awesome idea.
It would suck to be that spider, but
I would probably do that if I was an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I never really thought the whole alien thing has never really been all that compelling to me because I always thought if they were that far ahead, why the fuck would they even bother with us? Why would they bother? Like they wouldn't care. To be like, I don't know. Like I said, to me, it seems like people are inflating their own importance, maybe. Like how important humans are in the grand scheme of things. And we're not all that important. It's a pretty small planet in a pretty tiny corner of the universe. And if there are aliens and other intelligences out there, which I don't doubt, I'm sure there probably are. It's a big place after all, but I really don't think they would give that much of a shit. I really don't. So, I don't know. Do they sometimes like fly by here and like check to make sure what we're doing and we're not going to blow some shit up or everything like that? Maybe. But would they kidnap people and like, you know, take samples from them and like breed them? No. Why the fuck would they do that? They would just not be interested. I just don't see why they'd be interested. Because we would be so far behind, you know? Yeah, that's a good bit. Like, SideQuest Hero said, why do humans bother with insects? Some people just have weird obsessions. Maybe aliens are the same. But that's what I mean. Maybe, okay, maybe we're getting, like, the alien nerds, like, coming here and, like, experimenting on humans the way some people here are, like, really into bugs. It could be. That could be. I don't know, though. I'm not saying I don't think aliens exist, because I think they do. But whether they've come here and fucked with humans or not, that's a whole other question.
I think they might come here. But I don't think they care about us.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they give a shit. Why would they?
No. They probably see stuff like this all the time. And they would come by, and they're doing whatever they do, whether we see it or care about it or know about it or not, they don't care. It'd be like you walk out to your car, and when you're walking out towards your car, you pass a whole bunch of bugs and ants. You even see a squirrel, shit. You don't care. You don't go to the squirrel and go, hey, take me to your leader. You know that.
How funny would that be, though?
I'm going to communicate with a squirrel. I'm going to fucking go get into the squirrel network. I'm gonna talk to the king of the squirrels, and we're gonna cut a deal and everything. I'll negotiate. I'm gonna teach him how to use a big lighter. Tell him everything about fucking the production of petroleum, fuel, everything.
Shit, bro, don't do that.
It's not gonna work. Okay, so that's why they don't care.
And then squirrels took over.
They would just go by. They'd pass by. They'd be looking at the earth and looking. Wow, this is check out this place. Look at the weather. Look at all these trees. And then they see humans, and they're like, oh yeah, those things. You know,
those boring motherfuckers.
Yeah, just something boring. Yeah, those. I guarantee you. They wouldn't care.
I kind of feel like they probably
would. They would just think, they probably wouldn't see a difference between us, our technology, and then all the other animals. They'd just think it was the same thing. They're all at the same level. Because they would be millions and millions of years ahead of us. We'd just be real primitive. And they're probably not even biological. They're probably living machines. Because once you become a living machine and you're aware of things, you're immortal. So you'd rather be that than biological. So that's probably what they are. If you don't make that leap, you probably don't survive. Your species probably dies out. Because you need a habitat and supplies and shit and food. If you're a living machine, you don't need anything. You can get everything from space. You don't need to eat. You don't need to breathe. You don't even really need to reproduce. You can just manufacture another one, like you.
That didn't sound like much fun, does it?
Yeah. Well, they might be in a virtual world, too, where they're in our universe and flying around in a spaceship, but they are the spaceship type of deal. They're in a database inside the spaceship in a virtual world. There's billions of them in that thing. They're not eaten because they're just data. And when they're in there, they're in like the internet and they're fucking, doing whatever. They believe it's a virtual reality, so maybe they have bodies over there inside that computer. So it'd be real efficient. You could have one spaceship that could travel anywhere and have all of the surviving individuals from the species all in that one ship, not taking up any space. And they don't need anything. Maybe just fuel the ship, fix it. That'd be the best way to be. And you'd never die of old age, at least. You could be destroyed.
I was just shout out to Tammy for making that Eddie Izzard reference. I see that. Squirrel ring makeup. I see you. I see you. I still remember one time, speaking of squirrels, that this was a few years back because it was when I was working at that print shop. And I went out to my car and I was eating lunch in my car. Mm-hmm. And I saw this squirrel and he was burying something. Like, as squirrels do. And he saw me looking at him because he was like right there. And he totally like looked at me like that. Mm-hmm. And then he goes...
Yeah. Pretending like he wasn't burying it. Yeah.
Like he was acting like super shifty, like it's just like I wasn't burying anything because I think he thought that I was going to take it.
Yeah, you go dig it back up.
And it was very clear from his body language and his facial expressions that he thought I was going to take it. So he was pretending.
Yeah.
As soon as he saw me looking, he was just like,
"Oh, I wasn't burying nothing." Yeah.
Oh shit! It was like, and it was so funny. Yeah. I like laughed my fucking ass off.
I'm sure squirrels do that to each other. Steal each other's shit.
He's like, "Oh my god, that really big hairless squirrel over there."
Yeah.
They're gonna take my shit, whatever it is. Yeah. I was like, "You're all right, bro. I'm not taking any of your stuff. All right, I gotta pee."
Yeah, and it's actually we should just go ahead and shut it down because I gotta make something to eat. Don't you want to eat something to eat?
Yeah.
I got all kinds of work I gotta do tonight. I gotta get the fucking broiler going.
Oh, all right.
Eat that meat up. Okay.
All right. So I guess we're gonna wrap it up. It's like past 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been going on pretty much the whole time. Food and aliens. That was this whole entire show. That's okay though. All right. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your evening tonight. And have a good weekend. Probably on Monday, we will do the Eli Roth Thanksgiving movie. Just in the spirit of the season, I guess. And I haven't seen it, and I've been wanting to see it. And I saw it was on some streaming service that we have. So we'll probably do that on Monday to get everybody in the mood for the holiday, at least if they're in the U.S. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. Please have a good rest of your evening. Have a good weekend, you guys. And we will see you again on Monday. Good night.